Your mic is hot, Danny.
I just saw the Mark Robinson link.
We got to give our 5-minute intro here a little bit, but we'll try not to talk too much over it. This is our first live dry run. All of our tests have been excellent. In the new studio. Lost my voice a little bit, I'm just now realizing. Danny got some stealth.
It is just the most random thing at Beer Bellies.
Holy fucking shit.
I didn't realize what the word was.
It's pretty good, not gonna lie.
World's biggest Alex Joner. Holy fucking cow. Smoking timelines all over. It's over. World's biggest.
I just realized I only started YouTube, so we're now on Rumble and X and everything else. What's going on? We'll be in about 2-3 minutes. We'll be live.
Hey, I got the notification that we're live.
We are indeed live. Oh, let's try an emoji test here. I'm assuming that all still works.
Holy fucking shit. Smoking timelines lit all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner. Holy fucking cow. Smoking timelines all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner.
All of my sexual fantasies involve handcuffs.
Fucking shit. Smoking timelines lit all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner. Holy fucking cow. Smoking timelines all over. It's over. World's
You got your phone like on the mic or what?
All of my sexual fantasies involve handcuffs.
I guess I didn't need that other one, did I?
Fucking shit. Smoking timelines lit all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner. Holy fucking cow. Smoking timelines all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner.
All of my sexual fantasies involve handcuffs.
Holy fucking shit. Smoking timelines lit all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner. Holy fucking cow. Smoking timelines all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner.
All of my sexual fantasies involve handcuffs.
Holy fucking shit. Smoking timelines lit all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner. Holy fucking cow. Smoking timelines all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner.
All of my sexual fantasies involve handcuffs.
Holy fucking shit.
Being fat. Man, my voice is bad. It's fit-phobic being fat. Do better, people. Do better. Welcome to the new but not yet fully decorated studio center. We're going to have a little bit of an echo. We have no sound absorbent material on the walls yet. My name is John Ward. Quickly, you're watching The Cider House. The Cider House, technically episode 1. is an American novel by John Irving. The story, set in the pre- and post-World War II era, tells of a young man, Homer Wells, growing up under the guidance of Dr. Wilbur Larch, an obstetrician and abortion provider. The story relates his early life at Larch's orphanage in Maine and follows Homer as he eventually leaves the nest and comes of age. The name The Cider House Rules refers to the list of rules that migrant workers are supposed to follow at the Ocean View orchards. However, none of them can read, and they are completely unaware of the rules, which have been posted for years. On that note, episode 1 technically out of the new studio. Throw up a little jungle music here to eat up any echo. It's basically a live dry run. But welcome, Danny Kunselman.
What's up?
Talk louder.
You're gay.
I am, very. Speaking of gay, Chad the Impaler. Mihaly Sogor is with us, did an awesome video on Charleroi. I might play it.
Yeah, no, we had a good time. Thanks to you coming down there and filming it for me. But yeah, no, I haven't read that Cider House book, so I guess I'm the one that's.
Are you one of the ones that can't read?
Yeah, I can't read, and I'm just going along for the ride.
And finally, one more remote guest joining from Jack Middlefinger Kentner, who will be back in town and with us at the studio physically, possibly Sunday.
Yep.
Is that true?
Should be.
All right, sweet. So, our little program for today, if I can remember my buttons, it's been a while. We are opening up Studio Center. That spelling is because of the county we are in. We're going to try to help win this county.
The old Irish spelling.
The old Irish spelling, says the Hungarian-American. Cider House, the Cider House rules. You now know why this is called the Cider House. It's a very fine cider you're not drinking. We're going to just basically talk 2024 election. Missing persons, I'm referring to Nathan Wade, the Fannie Willis boyfriend that's straight up missing. Did they find him? I haven't looked at the news in a few hours.
I don't believe they did. No, not yet.
See, here's the problem, John. There's so many different stories going on in the news cycle right now.
Yeah, well, Arrested Development's mayor of New York, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that. And I'm just too deep in the Diddy saga right now. I'm just trying to figure out who all was involved with that. And
Justin Bieber.
I feel so bad for that poor kid.
Wow.
It's incredible that he's somewhat normal.
Well, that's a stretch.
Like, all things considered, he turned out pretty good. He turned out pretty good.
He's alive. Whoever insists, and I think it's Danny, on making sure every phone notification they get comes through
Brother, that's not mine.
It's not mine.
Anyway,
That's literally your laptop.
it's my laptop. Just testing you. I don't know how many things will go wrong on this. This is hot as shit. I'm taking this off. It's a little Coming to America reference, which none of you guys have seen any of the movies I'm seeing, I'm realizing.
Coming to America? No, that was like one of those Amazon Prime movies, wasn't it?
Whoa.
I'm sorry, what?
Coming to America is arguably the greatest comedy of all time.
It's a fantastic movie.
Really, the greatest comedy.
Oh, that is sweet relief. And so I'll pull up some Jack Kentner links here, but where do you guys want to start? You want to start with Diddy? I mean,
I'm not super in the loop on the Diddy stuff. Besides,
he's raped
Jeffrey
everyone. You're now in the loop.
He's Jeffrey Epstein 2.0.
He's-
How many
He's the
gallons of
black
lube was
Jeffrey
it?
Epstein.
How many gallons of lube was it? Baby oil?
There was a 1,000 gallons, I think. Is that, or 1,000
But
bottles?
it's because
Yeah,
it's,
I heard about that
it's
too.
because he shopped at Costco and he bought them in like the
Okay, but I did see
like a
Costco
water cooler
denied
jug
the
of lube.
allegations that they sell that
Did
baby
they?
oil.
Well,
Oh.
he gets it
Yeah.
straight from the source. They got a special deal going for him, you know.
Yeah, I'm not sure how reliable this source is, but I heard that he's now cellmates with Sam Bankman-Fried.
He's on the same cell block anyway. That's definitely true.
Oh, cell block.
And I
okay.
think Mayor Adams is getting thrown in that same.
Yeah, honestly, like it wouldn't be too shocking. Freaking, who was it was Tommy Chong and Jordan Belfort were prison mates.
Oh my gosh.
It was just hilarious.
I almost forgot. What's going on, chat? I don't have my monitor quite turned towards me enough to say hello, but I'll do my best here.
It's perfect for me.
I see Jeremy Carroll. Someone want to tilt that slightly towards me?
I like it where it is.
I also like it where it is.
I have missed you, a gay actor named Michael Douglas. You should see your chat from whatever platform you're on here. If I can remember what button I coded it to, I'll pull that up, but I don't see it working right now. But YouTube, Rumble, Pilled, and X, you should be able to chat from and see it all on one screen here and any sort of individual screens as well. Also, Jack, you don't need to be there. What am I doing?
How long? We should make a bet now. Episode 1. How many weeks until Diddy kills himself? Before he allegedly commits suicide.
Before he slips and... I honestly think there's a higher probability that everybody else in that prison ends up dead. They're going to go in there in a week and like everyone will be dead and piles of blood leaking from their anuses. And they'll all be
What if he
slathered in baby oil.
What if he pulls like El
Brother.
Chapo and like escapes out of a motorcycle tunnel?
El Chapo.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Are you guys familiar with the whole story of the birth of gangster rap and all this? So Tupac, East Coast,
How
West
was
Coast, like
allegedly funded by the CIA.
it's actually remarkably relevant to my culture, having been born in the '80s. All right, so when these guys all got big, and you had like the West Coast, like NWA, so Ice Cube, Eazy-E. Tupac was the big West Coast guy, and then on the East Coast, you had the actual talented rapper was Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G., and his little bitch friend was Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
And then Biggie got killed, and then Tupac got killed, and here we are. We've learned hilariously that apparently all major rappers who got famous since like the 90s are just raging, rapey homosexuals. Like all of them, apparently. Like you didn't make
Except 50 Cent, he's been holding down the fort. He's been trying to tell us this for years. No one would listen to
it.
him.
Well, where's his career at?
I know.
his rap
I know.
career.
He stayed strong, man. He's got that Cat Williams moral.
So that's hilariously bizarre, and then so Diddy gets rolled up. My theory was that Diddy was sort of a warning shot, and that it'd be very interesting to see what other celebrities started endorsing Kamala Harris after this arrest. And there's been a lot of them. And to me, that says those people are on those tapes.
Yeah, Macklemore, definitely. You see that?
Yeah, Macklemore sucks. I hate that guy.
That pro-Palestine song he released, what was it? It wasn't too long ago. I think it was just a few months ago he released a new song. It was horrible.
Thrift shop?
Brother.
That's only that's Macklemore, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
How long ago was that? Like 15 years ago?
Yeah, that's about the only
Yeah,
one.
and
the-
ever
the
since
ceiling
then, he
can't
got
hold us.
canceled for dressing up as like a Jew merchant, and ever since then, he's been like trying to pander to like to leftists or something.
Rehabbing his brand. I
Yeah.
guess that falls under missing persons and arrested developments. I don't want to beat.
Heinz Hull, that's what he called this song. Released 4 months ago, and it was the worst song.
Oh, the supers are working. That's good to know. Lord of the Re, good afternoon. Hard M World Champions. Got some new music on the way. That's true. I'm in the loop. In the meantime, you can check out all my stuff at Long Walks Music on Rumble. God bless y'all and God bless America. Lord of the Re is doing a little Hank Williams covers for the Inward miniseries that I'm working on. I'll have episode 1 out before the election.
Okay.
So a couple other people are. Mihaly is supposedly also working on it. How's that work coming?
Whenever you want it. Put a
Now,
microphone in front of
you
me.
got a guitar?
Start singing now.
Mihaly is a country artist. He also went out to Charleroi, Pennsylvania. It's the most recent video on my YouTube channel. It's got about 60,000 views now. It's kind of wild how we hit that news cycle, but it's a great video. I encourage you to watch it. You want to quickly...
No, I mean, it's just, I think you could speak to this as well as I can because you saw it all too, and I appreciate that again. You coming out and helping me do that. I wouldn't have done it otherwise.
It was your idea. Yeah, it was,
I mean,
you made it
I
happen.
just gave you an idea and you made it happen, so I appreciate
Oh, my
that.
God. It's not true.
I don't know. Long story short, though, both towns we went to Menneson, Pennsylvania, and Charleroi are extremely depressing in their own very unique, well, ununique ways, but different ways.
For the non-Pennsylvanians and even non-Americans, where the hell is Charleroi? Can you put it near a major American city?
To Philly people, will be suburbs of Pittsburgh, but
South
Western
of
PA.
Pittsburgh, right? Yeah, that was a great. We have tons more video from that trip also that we'll probably be cutting into lots more interviews and stuff. But that was the meat of it. It was great. And then that's been, who's the other people that have been, so like
I don't know their names. I
America
forget the names.
2100 or something?
Unfortunately, Elon Musk retweeted their video, not
I know.
ours, but
Well,
can't win them all.
I know.
Can't win them all.
Trump even brought it up at the Indiana PA Trump rally. They
I
actually
know.
they had a person from Charleroi speak at that rally, and then like he dedicated at least a solid 2 minutes of his speech to Charleroi.
That was kind of wild to see that word come out. So did you know the other people were going? Mihaly to Charleroi?
No.
Yeah, like
We
we just,
actually beat him there.
and quickly, your connection to that place is that your grandmother is born in Monessen right across
Yeah,
the river?
my grandmother's side of the family used to live in Monessen for a long time.
But your great-great-grandfather ran
the
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh Steel Company, yes.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an awesome trip for me, too. I hope we can get back out there and do some more stuff.
It's
But
cool to see it. Fun fact that we didn't mention in the video. You ready? My grandmother, so Monessen, the high school there, they're called the Greyhounds. My grandmother was the first ever Monessen Greyhound. I don't know if that's
wow.
cool or not, but
how
it's
did
a true story.
she didn't have classmates?
No, like she was their first ever like person to actually dress up as a
Oh,
mascot.
she was the
That's
literal mascot.
literal first mascot.
All right, well, now we know.
She didn't have classmates. She was. Just,
I thought you meant to, like...
It was just her. Like she just went to school by herself.
I haven't been around a mascot type situation. That word doesn't enter my vocabulary.
Her
very
sister
often.
was the cheer captain. My grandma was the first mascot.
So she was the fun one.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
But that is a great video, Charleroi, and that's all related to what's going on in Springfield, Ohio, right, with the Haitians. Patrick Miller,
Exactly.
The bad thing about capitalism is that it supports communists. That's a whole show in and of itself.
Mhm.
That is a whole show in and of itself, for sure. But what do we got? A month left to go, a little bit more till the election, all kinds of crazy stuff. Jack, you sent me some links, right? Before I move on from
Yes,
P.
sir.
Diddy. Anyone have any final P. Diddy Bieber thoughts? We got any believers here? Any of you guys fucking believers?
Not really. I didn't really I've been around.
Did you say not
since-
really? Like, so maybe a little bit?
He probably jammed out to, like,
I mean, I don't really personally hate the guy. Like, I've been around since.
Well, what in particular do you believe in?
I mean, I've been around.
Tell me about
since
some
he
of your
got
beliefs.
Started. I've been around since he got started, but I
These
never really
are
got
these spiritual
into the,
beliefs?
Bieber hate trade.
You're autisting way too hard right now. I'm saying, what are your beliefs, and you're answering seriously. You like the guy? Do you like his music though? I don't know any Justin Bieber songs. Not one. Maybe "Baby." Is that a song?
Yeah.
I think
It's his first
Jack probably
one,
jams
man.
out.
No, that's why I know it.
I think he's covered for a couple of songs that are probably popular that I don't know are him. But a lot of people want him dead, like when he was like really at the height of his popularity. I'm just like, that seems a bit harsh.
They wanted him dead. You said?
He was hated
Yeah,
for
like-
sure.
He was hated a lot.
Why
yeah.
was-
It's the
wasn't-
same
Not
kind of way
like-
like Taylor Swift is right now.
Well, yeah. Why wasn't anyone believing?
I guess they saw him as just a corporate plant or something. Like they couldn't buy that people could actually listen to that to his music. But I don't know, like
No, the problem was he
like-
was
like Mia
undeniably
said.
talented. He was just put on everything, everywhere, all the time.
It was
And that inevitably leads to people.
Bieber fatigue.
It's the same thing that happened to Baker Mayfield a couple years ago in his last season of the Cleveland Browns. That was like supposed to be his breakout year, and he was on every commercial and every like commercial break, like every other commercial had him on it.
Just get
He
tired
was
of it.
playing really bad, and they really hated him that year because he just was everywhere.
Too much, but well, now he apparently paid the price for all that fame, and that price was rape.
His parents paid the price.
Fucking laugh. You're a madman, Jack Kentner.
Jack, what?
yes,
No.
All right, yeah, let's get off.
Bad time
Let's
to
get
laugh.
off of Diddy like we're under 18 and move on to something else. But yeah, that is. I mean, I guess fine. Do you think anything will come of it, or did anything really come of Epstein? Right, Ghislaine
Yeah, I mean,
Maxwell
probably-
went to
probably
jail for
not.
trafficking children to no one. That kind of
He
shit.
might go down, but you never figure out who he was involved with.
You think he's gonna? Which hand does my look space? You think he's gonna suicide,
I think there's a good chance. I mean, not in a literal sense, but
or do you think that he's gonna like have an orgy with fucking Eric Adams and?
that is interesting. So it's now because he's.
We
refused-
do know Sam Bankman-Fried will fuck anything.
Well,
yes.
there's always that option.
No, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, going off Eric Adams. So this is all now because he's changed from housing migrants to not housing migrants and trying to get them.
Well, the
not-
brief a bit I read about it was that he accepted bribes from the Turkish government.
I saw that that's why he's actually technically going down. But what is it behind the scenes?
Yeah, is he?
Same thing with Cuomo. Like
Yeah.
what has actually caused them to now turn on him?
I don't know. I haven't. Have you? You're our expert, Jack. Have you read about that at all? Is there an underlying?
Yeah. So there's an obvious migrant crisis in New York City, and he has taken shots at the Biden administration for it a couple of times. But I think Adams' problem is that just like his predecessors, De Blasio and Cuomo, he's just retarded. Like he keeps on finding himself into like these controversies, and he just like New York City is just solid Dem, it's solid blue. So they don't really see why they have to stand by them getting to these controversies, so they can just easily throw them under the bus.
What do you think, chat?
So the interesting part about the whole situation is if he were to be removed as mayor of New York City by Governor Hochul, the person that is under him that would then take the position of mayor is the person that ran against Kathy Hochul in the Democratic primary for governor of New York. So she hates both of them. It's kind of good. It's kind of good soap opera. I don't know.
I hate to. There's a battle going on in the chat that I can't read. What is Jeremy Carroll upset with me about? He's been asking something for 15 minutes, but I can't read the monitor.
Leftists in the chat, Jeremy Carroll.
Jeremy Carroll. Jeremy's been in a lot of shows, so he's not a leftist. He's
the most heartfelt fug you.
Why won't you address the shit I'm asking?
Why won't you?
I just want Jeremy. What was the issue? Was it Diddy? Was I believing not hard enough? Too hard?
Jeremy, you have to bear with us here.
Yeah, we have everything kind of temporarily set up because we still got a little bit of set decoration to do.
The problem is I'm the only one now. I can see the screen perfectly. John can't.
Oh, wait.
I normally can't see it, so I don't ever read it.
Why I smeared the BAP guy. Who's the BAP guy? Who is that?
Bronze Age pervert.
We're going to need some English here, Jeremy.
Bronze Age pervert.
I do know.
About,
yeah, like what? Yeah, did we talk about that though? I don't think we talked about that.
No, I don't think we did.
Why I smeared Bronze Age pervert? I have that book. I read it. We'll give him another chance. The chat's a little bit behind.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Bronze Age pervert. I'm willing to check him out.
Maybe it's just me, but I'm dropping frames harder than Kamala's dad, dropping her on the head, making her retarded before he abandoned her, says Lord of the Ree on Rumble. We have no drop frames on our end, so that's on your end. Those issues should be done. It could be unique to Rumble. Rumble's always weird, and I haven't quite figured out why. I've been asking lots of people, but this should be silky smooth in HD on every platform, and from my end, no drop frames.
Dreamer, you know anything about that?
I'm trying.
What's up?
Cosmic Dreamer.
Captive, not cosmic.
You smearing him on Twitter? Are you,
no, I don't
you
know
doing the
anything
Jack
about that.
Kentner, getting in Twitter beef?
Are you sure?
No. I don't say anything
Jack,
about.
is this you? That did
Who's
that?
Who's captive?
No, I don't say anything about.
Who's
Bronze Age
captive
pervert.
dreamer?
Not a clue. Let's look him up.
I don't know him either.
I don't know.
Hopefully this
I'm not
doesn't-
going to sweat it too much. I mean, I'm sorry if I
Yeah.
did.
I'm hoping this isn't some elaborate troll or attempt to get the stream shut down.
He was the guy. No, I mean Jeremy's been in enough comments.
He's the one that was talking about where we should have gone. And is he the guy that was telling us where to go?
Oh yeah, I probably lost my patience with that. That you're probably right. I didn't mean anything by that. I'm an absolutely gigantic asshole though, and you know that, Jeremy. So I didn't mean anything by it. For what it's worth, I'll apologize. You probably caught me. I think you're right. I think that's what he's talking about. The guy that was.
That's my best guess.
Did you get irritated by that too?
I saw it after everything had already happened. I thought it was kind of funny, the whole interaction.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, I'm of the opinion that anybody that lives in that town can pick up a camera and make better videos than we did. And we got to travel quite a bit and spend some money to get out there, and we did what we could. We had one day to do it. Push this.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something to you have all these ideas. You should just go do it then. You don't need us.
Yeah, so, I mean, for what, Jeremy, if he's a buddy of yours, let him know we didn't mean anything by it, but I ain't apologizing either. Sorry.
Not sorry.
I don't think he cares that much either. I like you guys. We're not doing a whole lot of apologizing here. But all right, so where were we at? I've distracted myself again today. If you're just joining us, we are doing a first live dry run out of the studio. You might ask, why does a live dry run work any different than a private one? Well, and on this channel, it fucking does. All kinds of shit happens when we go live that doesn't happen when we're not live, when we're testing. So. But 100% promise you there's been like one drop frame, it looks like, or something like that. That actually irritates me. It should be 0. But you should have nothing wrong on your end. This should be super fast. If your internet is, other than Jack might look a little choppy on your end, but that's because we're limited by
That's just my natural look.
his potato that he's using to join the live stream. So what you put some potato wires into like some salt water, and then like that's what you're broadcasting through or some shit like that. I don't know.
Copper wire though.
But I wish as soon as possible, I'll get a camera up that shows the entire space, because this set is pretty nice and big actually. But beyond that, there's a whole workspace for the studio that we will have classrooms, other creators. We will have live shows, a stage. Mihai will get in here and play some music maybe for us. He's launching that quite good, honestly.
Most recent comment on the chat. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm a dick should be printed on a hat is actually a very good point.
That's a good quote.
Sorry, I'm a dick. There you go. No, Jeremy's a world champion. We all get how that works here. We're brutal to each other, but it's all in good fun. And if anybody actually gets mad, I assure you it was not on purpose. It was something I missed. But all right, so beyond Diddy and Bieber music.
Well, hold on, just to wrap that up though. If you are actually mad, hold it against him.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't say anything. You can still watch my video.
You may absolutely come rumble with me. I am here to do that. I'm the old, angry one. And one of you guys, in fact, the sooner I get killed, the better. You guys can take this over, and I'll just enjoy paradise and the afterlife and relaxing, burning with Satan or whatever.
Imagine the round table meeting the morning after. Be like, what do we do now?
You guys would all be pumped, I'm sure. All right, so we've got a handle on what's going on in the chat. A gay actor named Michael Douglas, who's like, I can read your name because it's so big. Please look into Diddy's adopted white daughter that's missing. Wow, okay, holy shit. Ava Grace Baldwin, also called Ava Baroni. We will definitely look into it. What's going on? Cider Men says ichnosis. Is that what that says? So, all right, I've learned my lesson already, but we don't have the real monitors installed here yet, so sorry about that.
Also, side note, apparently Michael Keaton's real name's Michael Douglas, but he's been pressured to not use that name because of the other actor named Michael Douglas, and now he's only just going off of it. Did you guys hear about that?
That's true?
I was confused because that's when you guys were talking about Michael Douglas, I thought you were talking about the old guy.
Why doesn't he go by Mihaly Douglas?
He should go by Mihaly Douglas.
Mihaly Douglas. Mihaly means Michael.
It does. In Hungarian.
If you when you go to Hungary or Romania, do you call yourself Michael to sound exotic?
That'd be funny, actually.
Do you know any like Hungarians named Michael?
No, it's refreshing to be like, like have people say my name and it not be weird.
Yeah, I bet actually.
Yeah. It's actually kind of nice.
That makes sense. That makes sense. All right, so we're, again, if you're just joining us, doing a dry run of all the live stuff, seeing what's working. It seems to all be working. So what's the next topic? Let's keep it moving.
Well, who's going to win the election?
Who's going to win the election? I have a little... Before, I mean, did you guys follow the Fannie Willis, Nathan Wade thing, Jack? I bet you did.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
So he hasn't been found yet, is that... What's going on with Nathan Wade?
No, not yet.
Is he missing in like a we think he's dead context, or hiding from the authorities?
My understanding is he got subpoenaed.
And so he's hiding from
he just
Congress.
ran away. He just ran. He's like, nah, they won't find me. And maybe they won't. I would have gone right to Fannie Willis's house and checked there. I'm sure he's fucking in the basement or something.
Probably in Canada.
Yeah. Yeah, they're attempting to subpoena him, but they haven't been able to find him anywhere.
Let's see if the chat knows. I can't really read the chat, but Jesus, a lot of... I'm kind of glad I can't from some of the shit I'm kind of seeing.
But we're aware of why they want to subpoena him, right? Like, the chat's aware of all the contacts.
Yeah, he's going down, right?
Yeah.
All right.
So Fannie Willis, like one of the prosecutors who tried to go after Trump, she did so she had a very peculiar strategy. Because she hired a guy that wasn't really qualified to be on her prosecutorial team, and apparently she was seeing this guy romantically, Nathan Wade, even though he was married. And now they're looking into it, into his background, and they're looking to subpoena him for those reasons.
And he just ran away. Is that true?
Yep.
That's
Yep.
He's at your mom's place, says with all due
He's
respect.
hanging out with Chubby Chase.
Yeah, wow. She is a thick fanny, that's for sure. I just don't get it, man. Some of these ladies that, like, that ain't Helen of Troy. It's like Helen of Carbohydrate Troy or whatever. Fucking Helen of, what's the Candyland, that board game?
Yeah.
Helen of Candyland.
Yeah, Candyland.
Holy shit.
The gumdrop for
So hopefully he gets found in a very violent, aggressive, televised way, and I'd be all for it. Arrested Developments was, we talked a little bit about Mayor Eric Adams. My understanding is, does anybody know more about that, like other than the Turkish charges? I started to ask you, Jack,
No, I
is there
literally just found out about it today. Like,
He put out a statement. He said, of course, he said. That
no, but I mean,
BS.
fuck what he says. Is it about the immigrants? Is that what you think?
No, I don't think so. I know that he's gone into fights with the Biden administration over it, but I think he just has he's just inherently corrupt.
Well, I mean, they're all why
what
is
makes him special?
yeah, why now?
Yeah, I get what you guys mean. Like, there's obviously selective enforcement depending on whose team you're on.
Which means who did he piss off? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's where we, like, was it because of he's not allowing immigrants to be shipped into New York City? Is that basically what did it? Or I don't know. No one wants to speculate. Let's ask the
that's what
chat.
I said earlier. I think you have to do it from his standpoint. He's got an election coming up next year. The people within the city are very angry about what's currently happening there.
Yeah.
And he's trying to win an election by getting votes, and he can't do that unless he does the number one issue they have right now and tries to at least make an attempt of solving
So
it.
there's Patrick Miller at the bottom. The whole sanctuary city thing wasn't working out. He started talking about it, and magically he got prosecuted.
But that's the thing. Like, I don't even know that he's done anything yet other than have a couple strongly worded speeches where he's disavowed it.
Well, I mean, I think the wider, if you want to call it a conspiracy theory, but people like Eric Adams get placed in those positions not because of merit or not because of talent, but because they're basically just an extension, a puppet of somebody that is powerful.
The question is, what did George Soros decide he didn't like about?
Yeah,
America?
Basically, that's kind of what I'm asking. What is it?
It kind of reminds me of the former Harvard president Claudine Gay.
Bang.
Dr. Gay. She was like implementing all these radical leftist policies at Harvard, but once she didn't crack down on the Palestinian protests, they're like, you gotta go, you gotta get out of here.
The plagiarism's not an issue until you don't genocide Palestinians or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's where the plagiarism and just like your dirty laundry comes into play. Like they can use it as leverage if you don't play ball.
I mean, is that kind of how this all works, that everybody's just sort of constantly corrupt and they always know about it, but it's they let it go until you stop playing ball and then you're out?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I believe. I think I said this a couple shows before, but with how like important our institutions are, you're not given just the benefit of the doubt. People in power, they go through every aspect of your life, and if they find anything they can use against you, they're going to use it.
Well, I mean, to bring it back to Diddy, who was the lead prosecutor in New York City when Diddy was having his freak-offs?
Was it Eric Adams?
It was Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Oh.
You tell me she didn't know?
I was gonna ask though.
Tell me she didn't know?
Do you
bigger
guys
than
think there's
that.
a connection between
I think Danny's about to say
the orgy COVID czar and Eric Adams and Diddy?
I think it's even bigger than that, because wasn't
Obama?
Kamala was prosecutor and a lot of that Diddy shit was going down
In
Yeah,
San
in LA.
Francisco. Or LA.
Or was
Yeah,
it-
yeah.
was
And,
it
San Francisco.
and this might,
Francisco?
Yeah.
and this might be bullshit, but I heard online that people are saying that Diddy had some sort of video implicating or showing Obama at one of his Diddy parties.
There
I'm not sure
has
if
to be a
that's true at
video
all.
of that
I've heard a lot
somewhere.
of this. I don't.
And we're about to validate
That's the one video
every
we definitely will never see.
if that video ever came out, you validate every Pizzagate claim ever.
Yeah, I'm sure Barry Soetoro and Michael Obama are on all kinds of rapey videos. I don't know. What, have you guys seen that one of Bieber and Odell Beckham?
No.
Where
Yeah, I have, unfortunately.
You- is
I
it-
don't think that it does. I don't think that it is what it looks like, though.
really?
What do you think?
I mean, is it real? I haven't really looked into it. It seems pretty
like
real.
a very real video, but I don't think he was actually sucking his dick.
I think he was. I don't know where that video is or how to find it, but maybe.
Brother, what? Did
can
you
just
watch
go
this?
on
Did
Twitter.
you see this?
It's on,
No.
it's on Twitter. You
There's,
didn't see
yeah,
this.
all right. Let's see if I can find it here.
Justin Bieber, Odell Beckham.
Let's see.
I did see this one video of
I got Mihaly up
Diddy
for some reason.
walking up to a 15-year-old Bieber and saying, "Why don't we hang out anymore, man?" And just Bieber just looks incredibly uncomfortable.
Oh,
like, all
there's
throughout it.
there's all
Like, he has
kinds
some
of
answer.
stuff like that. Let me get this off of here.
That's just disgusting.
Oh, this one. There we go. Holy crap. All right, so Twitter, and what am I looking for? Bieber,
Just, I don't know, Justin Bieber, Odell Beckham.
Beckham.
2 L's and Odell.
I didn't even try to do Odell.
Oh, no.
What the fucking? Oh, is this it? It's just the.
It's going to be, you got to put Odell. That's what he goes by.
How do you spell Odell?
Odell.
Oh yeah, right here. All right, hold on. Let me fucking shrink this.
Look
shit.
at that.
It's a vertical video, isn't it? You stupid thing.
Yeah, it is.
Damn, man, is there not? Oh, there we go. Oh, this
Is
channel.
this the same party that there's other videos of Justin Bieber, like, visibly drugged up at?
Oh, I don't know about that, but let me start this over again. Let me shut this off. Let me get this going. Is there audio? Oh, no, it's like weird Twitter audio. All right. Oh my God.
I think that was just the slow-mo version.
So what you see? So that's Odell Beckham. Yeah. I don't know.
Can you full screen it?
I can shrink it.
And can you get that freaking welcome?
There. Oh my God.
I don't think.
I don't.
Right there.
I think that's a stretch.
Really?
Oh,
All right.
someone definitely is pulling up his pants right there, though.
Let's go back. All right. Is this just? Oh yeah. Okay. So this is some shot from a party, and then Diddy yells "Oh!" like to get Odell Beckham's attention. So this is right there. That's Diddy on the left. He yells "Oh!" and then that in the white hoodie is Odell Beckham, and he sure looks to be pulling up his pants. And I think there might also be a dude behind him. Like, I think there was a little more than just Bieber blowing, if this is real. But anyway, what you then see is he's like, oh shit, a camera. And then the top of the head right there, Justin Bieber. And he's like, what the fuck?
Now keep it playing. Keep it playing. There's a slow-mo version now coming.
All right, so he says,
You can
oh.
You definitely see a guy behind him there.
Yeah, I think Odell Beckham was getting boo food and blown at the same time. And he's like, oh shit. Oh no. I'm on Cider House. This music. And I mean, you guys don't believe?
No, that's that.
You're not a believer?
I'm not saying I don't believe it. I'm just saying that is highly suspicious.
Chat.
I find it very disturbing.
I mean, look at how disturbed
Puff
Justin
Daddy Major
Bieber
Booty
looked.
Warrior vibes.
Look at how, but when you see Justin's face in that, like, he's like, "What the f, bro?" Like,
Yeah, like he's mad he got caught. No? I don't think he's getting raped right here.
I don't know, like, because you know how paparazzi can be. They
But,
can get just
dude,
really annoyed with cameras being
You
thrown in
have
their
to take into
faces.
account everything from the fact that this guy was dropped off at 15 years old to Diddy's house. They've been probably drugging him up every
No, okay. So, like, I'm not ripping on Justin Bieber at all. I totally abuse victim, 100% from the top down. But just because you're abused doesn't mean you're not gay. You know what I mean?
I don't think that he even knows what the fuck is going on at this like in that moment in his
You're
eyes.
telling me, not me, but some other person, if I took some other person's dick and stuck it in your mouth, you wouldn't know what was going on.
Not if I wouldn't know.
Not at 18 or not at 15.
Not
You'd
if
be
you-
like, I'm not sure what's happening
Not
here.
if you drug me up every weekend from the last 6 years and then do it to me unknowingly.
Fair enough. I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. But
That's the difference. It's not the Justin Bieber.
It's
out
also
here
like
just
how
sucking
early
random
did he get
dudes' dicks.
like, depending on how early he was abused. I mean, this is like definitely cancelable commentary here.
that's why I got the chat up.
He's not coming in here and hitting on us if he sees us.
No, but what I'm getting at is if somebody's abused at a young age, there's a lot of research to back up the concept.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
That person
Yeah,
then
yeah.
starts to have homosexual
become gay,
tendencies.
yeah.
It's not impossible that he is gay, though, or that he, without
I mean,
any-
He's a
if it's-
born again Christian.
I just saw that, actually.
made a Christian now.
Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's new, right?
Yeah, and he's married to one of the Baldwin
Well,
brothers' daughters.
Paul Pelosi's married, too, so.
No, but he's married to one of the Baldwin brothers' daughters, and that whole family is like devoutly Christian.
Like Alec?
Not Alec.
Okay. It's like, wait a minute.
It's one of the other ones.
Let me, I had a comment here I
Billy, it's
wanted to
not
pull
Alec,
up. I
I don't
didn't
know.
quite read it. It was from Francis Dashwood. Fun fact, Sam Bankman-Fried and P. Diddy are, so they are cellmates. They're
Yeah, yeah.
cellmates? I thought they were just on the same block.
It would make sense to me.
That's wild,
That's
man.
wild, though.
Yeah, and then and Eric,
Conversations.
Eric Adams is on his way, I believe, mayor of New York. So
Conversation must be electric in there.
Yeah. While we're on the subject of Diddy, I'm looking up on Twitter right now, and people are saying there's a rumor going around that a tunnel was found in Diddy's home. According to the rumor, the interior has a private theater with capacity for 35 people, a fully equipped gym, and a wine room. The most curious thing about the property is an underwater tunnel connected to a grotto inside the luxurious mansion.
That's
Not
always
sure.
been an
Again, this is a
alleged-
rumor, but I'm not sure how credible
That's
it
always
is.
been an alleged thing about Diddy's house. Like there was always secrets of this tunnel that went to like a hidden pool that was like in like a fake cave.
like Playboy Mansion style.
That's like where like the serious stuff went on. That was like always a story back in the day.
I mean, if you were to come to me and say, "Hey, there are some hidden tunnels in Jewish synagogues," I would just say, that's conspiracy
Like the
theory."
guy
But,
who was
but
putting
since
on
I was
Twitter-
proven right, I guess I gotta not be skeptical.
Yeah,
Uh,
like the guy
yeah.
who was tweeting, like, I told you I could hear Yiddish below me, but no one wanted to believe me. Nobody believed me. I told you for 6 months.
It's true. Oh my God! Imagine
Told
telling
you
all
for
your
6
friends.
months, and all you did was put me on hate watch
I'm
list.
telling you, man.
I'm
There's
going crazy. Like, there's
Yiddish. You're like,
I
oh
don't-
fuck yourself.
I don't want to sound insensitive, but there's Jews below me. All day, all night. It sounds like they're digging, but half the time they're having a party. I don't know. There's Jews below me.
And then there were.
Did we ever get an answer on why they were digging the tunnels?
You're never gonna get an answer to that question, buddy.
I think
Not
I
a
think
real
the
one.
reason they gave was that they were scared about people coming after Jews, so they wanted to
They were
have a
escape
quick getaway
tunnels.
or something.
They were escape tunnels. Did they lead to roller coasters? Oh, Jack, there you go.
Can't be the only ones.
Jack got it. Yeah, I'm extreme. I told you I'm not a nice person. So anyway. Oh, what's going on with Pilled?
Dream has disconnected.
What's going on with Pilled? Why is it doing that?
Oh, no.
That's new. Well, still no drop frames from OBS and all that. Everything there's going great. I'm not sure why Pilled did that.
Did any of you guys see the video that apparently Hailey Bieber's dad put out right before Diddy got busted?
No, I did not. How do I
No,
look
what he
that up?
Put out
what he
what?
said.
That's I don't know. It's just right in the chat.
Yeah, no,
Haley
that's who I was talking about earlier. I forget his
Bieber.
name. He's Alec Baldwin's brother.
Haley Road Baldwin Bieber. Is that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Who's her
a-
dad though? It's not Billy Baldwin. It's not Alec Baldwin. I think there's a third and a fourth.
Daniel,
I don't think it's Daniel either. But it
Steven.
might be Steven.
There's a lot of those fuckers. Haley and Justin Bieber, Justin French, shirtless Justin Bieber. Man, I wish I hadn't searched for Justin Bieber. How do you spell Haley Bieber dad. That's what I should look for.
That's what the chat.
Ah, Stephen Baldwin.
Yeah.
Nope. Bang. I don't know why it wants Mihaly so bad up there.
You know, Billy Baldwin came to Joe Paterno's funeral
No, I didn't know that.
for no reason. He had no connection. His direct quote was, "I just felt like I should be there." What the fuck? Yeah. It's actually kind of hilarious.
I'm really confused as... Oh, there you are. All right. Stephen Baldwin. And all right, so what's the quote I'm looking for?
Just whatever.
Some video
tweet
he put out.
This. He issues a strange message in the Hindustan Times amid concerns over creepy video. This thing? This message?
In the midst of disturbing details regarding Justin Bieber's relationship with former mentor Sean Diddy Combs, Haley Bieber's father. They spelled Haley wrong in this video.
That's the key. That's what matters, Danny.
No, but just is the video playable?
I'm trying to find it, man.
I think
Did I pass a link?
it might have been that very.
Isn't it the top thing?
That's Sean Diddy.
I can see a
Oh,
play
that's
button
just a
right
picture.
there.
It's just a picture.
It's 28 degrees Celsius in New Delhi right now.
Just go to
Surely
Stephen
this is
Baldwin's
linked.
Twitter.
Hindustan Times. Get your link game. All right, hold on. What's that? What's that weird music coming from?
The Hindustan Times.
Goddamn Hindustan. Yeah, you're right. It is. Shares message. OK Magazine. More news.
Why don't you check out the videos tab?
All right, you son of a bitch. No.
11 minutes, my guy.
All right, how about this? Let's go back to Jesus Christ.
We gotta fix this
Baldwin.
whole.
Stephen
X
Baldwin.
setup.
Look at Stephen Baldwin.
Diddy. Oh, is this it? This looks like it might be it. This thing? This guy?
Looks like him.
It's on TikTok. It said it was.
All right, hold on. Let me give him some volume here. Stephen fucking Baldwin is alive, huh?
So hey,
Just hit full
Hollywood. Now that you know you've been infiltrated by the homeland folks, and you also know you've been infiltrated by the devil, my question to y'all is, are you ready to be infiltrated by the ghost?
Brother, what?
All right. I'm glad we looked for 10 minutes.
Glad we really
Yeah,
spent a lot of time looking that one up.
Whoever that was. Thanks.
Is there any meaning to that, Jack? You kill prostitutes quite often. What does that all mean?
I got nothing.
Nothing that won't incriminate you.
Sure.
No,
sure.
I don't know. What's the chat have to say? I keep forgetting about
Rumble's dead.
Tactical rants. I feel the same way.
Rumble is dead, huh? Let me go over to Rumble. Rumble appeared to have shit the bed. That is true. Oh.
John accidentally X'd out of the.
No, I didn't, but it is having an error, like, uniquely, that I've never seen before.
Huh.
My God, did this just kill the whole fucking thing? Well, this is why we do the tests. I really do hate Rumble quite a bit, though, and I have a feeling that we're not very welcome there because we're competitive with their shows they try to promote.
Their paid talent.
Yes.
Mm.
Is that chat still updating on the screen? Or?
It is not.
Yeah, fucking Christ. Oh, well, I stopped and restarted the Rumble stream, and I think it destroyed everything. So let me close OBS and
Damn.
boot it back up, and hopefully it's still got everything there.
Damn.
Interesting. All right, let me go quick. All right, we should be back on YouTube. Yep, do your thing. I'll throw myself up here quickly. Let me start up Pilled. Let me start up X. Rumble's going to be last. All right, we're back there. Rumble. Failed to connect to stream. Well, that's wild. You screwing some stuff out there. If you're just coming back, everything should be back up except for Rumble. Oh, and Pilt is fighting me now too. Wild. Reconnected. X is working even with the hurricane. I think there's a future in content with X. No joke. YouTube chat is down. It shouldn't be. Hello? Yep, YouTube seems good. Testing on X, or Pilt, I mean. That seems fine. And I'll say sup to Jay. Since he's over there. Yeah. Huh. What's going on with Pilt? And Rumble just won't start, period. Everything is fixed on YouTube. Pilt is doing some weird shit. Chatting on YouTube, not all right. All right, you guys done with your shits. Where'd Jack disappear off to?
Probably taking a shit.
All right, well, we are back, except for on Rumble. And I guess while we wait for Jack, I'll see if I can't get that figured out. But Rumble has been a problem, always.
Rumble.
And I don't know why, because they're just sitting there on everybody hating YouTube and wanting to get the fuck off of Rumble. And they just can't seem to make it work. All right, it says offline. So copy that. Let me just delete this.
The only thing Rumble has going for it is the fact that you can lock your phone screen and it continues playing.
All right, so while we're waiting, let's see if we can't get it back up just for fun, since we're doing a dry run. No. Wild.
Down on Rumble. Well,
So
Hey,
maybe
do
the
you
whole-
guys hear me?
Yeah, you're good. We're back. Everything but Rumble should be working. Sorry, Rumble users in chat. I have no idea why. But it ain't on our end. We are still looking awesome with frames and speed and all that stuff. So turn this jungle music down a little bit. So weird video from Justin Bieber's father-in-law. I don't know. I don't read a whole lot into it. What do you think, chat?
Nah, to me it just looks like he's on some drugs. It sounded like he was on drugs.
He's always on drugs, I think. He's a Baldwin. We are pretty much, I mean, we could just like take our 10-minute break right now. And that would
not
get.
just kind of do that though.
Yeah, didn't we just take a break?
I didn't get to take a break
that's what we did.
because none of you assholes will learn how to run this shit.
Well, you don't need to go smoke another cigarette. We heard you coughing out that
I know. I'm hacking up a lung. I am hopefully dying very soon. Doing my best to get that to happen ASAP.
We can turn it into a little Jack cast.
Yeah.
Or we I haven't been here in a while. We could Danny, if you're down, maybe you could tell me about the TPUSA event at Penn State, how it got canceled.
Well, so the
Yeah.
unfortunate thing about that event is we got 3,000 students on the lawn of the hub, all wearing MAGA hats, with Charlie Kirk ready to speak. Jack Posobiec starts hyping up Charlie Kirk, and then the microphones get cut. Because apparently there is a technical, like, code of conduct rule about no sound amplification on the hub lawn before 5 p.m. Now, I understand the university is justified in shutting us down, but I think this highlights a problem with that policy. It's antithetical to the ideals of the higher education of the institution with the free exchange of ideas. I mean, if Charlie Kirk
I
can't
agree.
speak to the students with a sound amplification device because thousands of students want to hear him speak, then are we actually pursuing the ideals of higher education? I would argue we're not, and that policy should be more heavily scrutinized in the coming days and weeks because of the fact that it prevented somebody from peacefully discussing their political ideologies and political beliefs and hopes and dreams about the future of the country with students at that university.
Yeah, and I remember back when I was president of the YAF chapter there, we worked with TPUSA to bring Riley Gaines onto campus, and she used a microphone on the lawn, no problem.
Well,
But
technically, that was also a violation of the school policy. They just chose not to enforce it. Like
Okay.
there is a written policy. I don't remember the exact number. It's 80 something, but I can't remember the following numbers. But it is there, and the university did have the right to shut down the event, even though I would argue shutting down the event didn't. It only benefited them insofar as they were just able to stop a conservative from speaking to his followers.
Yeah, I happened to run up to
course.
this event myself, and it was not offensive or in anyone's way. There was a ton
Yeah.
of pro-MAGA people there. There was a very
John-
small number of protesters.
1,500 MAGA hats
Yeah.
passed out to Penn State students in 10 minutes.
It should have been a good time. It was kind of a bummer.
yeah, well, John, our mutual friend, or Danny and I's mutual friend, Jason, actually recorded the event. If you want to look it up on YouTube, I don't think you'd have a problem with us showing his channel some exposure. It's just a vlog video, essentially.
Yeah, who am I looking up?
Just Jason, Penn State,
On YouTube, you're saying?
Charlie Kirk, TPUSA. Yeah, that should be it.
Just Jason.
But some good things that came out of that event is the local conservative population got super pissed off, and they're more motivated than ever to help us out. And then the second great thing that came out of this event was we got 350 voter registrations in 1 hour on campus.
Yeah, that's legit. Good number.
You're saying literally just the word Jason,
I think, yeah, that should be his account.
not a channel just Jason, like just Jason, just Jason. This
Yeah,
guy.
That's his channel name.
All right.
All right, it is Thursday, September 19th,
Yep, that's him.
2024,
We can turn that down.
11:44
How the
a.m.
hell
And today,
Does he
on
get the
Penn
name
State's
just Jason
main
when it only has
campus,
78 subscribers?
Charlie Kirk apparently is coming to campus.
This guy's gonna be big. Is he
See
just
over there,
starting?
Turning Point
He's
has
got
a
a
little
great name.
presence.
It's just Jason.
This is the lawn of the Hub Robeson Center, and all that noise.
This is really early
Are the
on in
protesters.
the day.
Yeah, you can skip through it, but John,
It's
I
like
can't
fucking
See the big trans
hour
flag
long.
that they're
really see
waving.
the video on
What-
my end.
Hold on.
I still have like the
What's up, Jack? And Mihaly for some reason.
yeah, I can't see on my end. I see like a blue screen. Yeah,
Hold on. Where are you? Oh. Hold on, Jack. How about now?
there we go.
Sorry.
Yeah,
about
looks
that.
good.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Of God.
Oh, I got an ad.
Fuels is overheating our planet,
What are we doing? here?
causing
Can we turn
Hey,
this down?
one of you guys needs to remind me to put ad blockers on this stuff now that we're in the studio.
Yeah, put ad
Yeah,
blockers
sure.
on it and can you turn the damn volume down?
How's that?
This is good now.
Oh, wait, this isn't it. That's not just Jason.
Jack.
It's,
Yes.
Oh my God, it's not. You know, Jack's right. There we go.
All right, it is.
All right. Oh, 44 minutes, Jack.
Well, you can skip to like the.
So these were the
interesting parts.
protesters for sure. Do you have a timestamp for us?
So just pause it for a second right here. I love how they have all these signs that are calling Charlie Kirk racist and TPUSA racist. They had posters all over campus saying the same thing. I would just like to highlight that the president of our chapter of TPUSA here at Penn State is a black woman.
Yeah, I walked through these people like 5 or 6 times till they started getting angry with me, and then I took a picture behind them. I don't know if you can see it here. I found their leader. It's this morbidly obese dude.
Bro, so guess that same person's the one who organized the protest against Riley
Gaines.
Gaines. And the hilarious thing is one of our YAF members found one of their posters at the Riley Gaines event, and the dumbass didn't black out their address on the cardboard.
Interesting. I'm trying to find them in here.
Was that
Yeah, it was. This was more full than this. It was a pretty banging event here.
Yeah.
We had a bunch
It's too
of.
bad it got shut down.
Somewhere back in here. Man, I should have put up my footage. This fucking guy. Holy shit.
Because we got over 1,500 club signups alone.
Oh, yeah. I mean, those hats were... People were running around asking me for hats and shit. They were trying to buy them. I think someone tried to buy Danny's, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and then they got salty that Charlie Kirk signed it. I'm like, brother, I don't care. You're not getting mine.
So, yes, this is the Penn State Hub lawn. It's actually not terribly far from where we're sitting right now. That was a happy accident I just learned about. But, all right, so, Jack, Jason, how do we plug him? He's a Penn State student. He's what? What is he?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's got
just,
the greatest
that's
name
his-
ever. That's a great name for YouTube.
Jason.
Just Jason. he just has the name Jason.
How many Jasons do you think there are on YouTube?
If you type in Jason Penn State,
Yeah, go ahead and
Penn
make
State,
up a
Charlie Kirk,
question I didn't actually ask and answer
No,
that.
no. I'm saying if you like get very specific, then you
around,
should
man.
find them.
Just
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
around. All right, so Jason's got some good footage of that. It honestly really was kind of a fun event. It was kind of a bummer it got shut down. But we're hoping if they come back, we'll get them into the studio, which we got to pretty up here in order to encourage people to come to the studio. When is Vivek coming?
October 17th, 7 p.m. I don't know
Are
the
you sure it's not
location.
earlier than that? Excuse me.
It is not earlier than that, brother. I handed out those flyers
I
at
thought
that
it's
event.
not the 7th.
I am positive. It's not.
I thought it was the 19th.
Weirdly, because Pennsylvania is so in play during this election, we're getting a lot of attention and people coming here. Part of
It
It
it.
should be
election.
getting more attention.
I
The
agree.
entire election is here in PA.
I don't know
The
if I
path-
fully
the
agree with it.
entire election is decided by the 20,000 dumbest Pennsylvanians. Get ready, world.
We are going to be out on the street and shit. We'll have this set built out and whatnot, but we have an awesome location for jumping onto Penn State's campus and all that, which was the whole idea. So that is all coming. We're a little behind because I probably shouldn't bitch too much about that, but for reasons outside of our control, it's now hopefully working. We'll go back and rewatch all of this and make sure that's true, figure out what the hell happened with Rumble. But other than that, so there's all kinds of events coming to State College, Pennsylvania is the name of the town. Penn State main campus, University Park they like to call it. So Kirk, Posobiec, we're just here. Are they coming back? Do we know that? Probably.
I don't know. There's speculation Charlie's coming back with Vivek, but nothing definitive.
And so Ramaswamy's going to be here on the 17th.
And we, at that same day, on that same day, a few hours earlier than that, we also have Therese and Takeax debate.
That's right. Yes. So Therese Holland, we'll throw her up here when we take our little sig break, or if whatever we want to do. We'll talk about that in a second. But PA's 82nd district. And what district is Marie?
77.
Marie Labrizzi,
Yeah,
77th.
Yeah,
All right.
and
So we'll.
she actually has Marie actually has another upcoming event of her own where she's going to be hosting.
Yeah,
Dr.
I'll be at
James
some of that
Whelan.
stuff myself, and we're going to start
Yeah.
filming more of that. And then both of those ladies and some other candidates and other GOP people are going to have their own show here in the morning. We're not sure what day of the
Awesome.
week yet, but yeah. Yeah, so all the fun stuff is coming as soon as we look at this and it all makes sense. We figure out Rumble, and then we'll make the set pretty. I should have had a camera pointed at that window and stuff, but you'll get a good look at it not too soon. Sunday, this coming Sunday. So here's my week. Saturday is the Deacon is having a Huntington County Trump train, which if you guys have time, I'd suggest going to. It's going to be fun. I think the last one, he had like 7,000 cars in it or something like that. It was insane.
It's not just Huntington. They got several counties in on this.
Do they?
Yeah.
Are we involved?
I don't know, but I saw it circulating in Jefferson, and Jefferson's a hike away from Huntington.
He's a good organizer, believe it or not, the Deacon Mojack. So he is doing it in memory of his late wife, who organized the first one. So that's going to be cool. That's Saturday. I will be there. I will try to live stream if I can. I don't know what the internet's going to be like. Sunday. What the hell is going on Sunday? There's a bunch of stuff going on Sunday. There's the Deplorable. There's what's happening Sunday. Oh, Sean Semenko from Uncensored America will be here in the
So
studio.
that's on Sunday.
On Sunday, yeah. So
Yeah.
after the Deplorable, I believe. So that'll be 8 p.m. or later. And then he was kind enough to give me a nice ticket, VIP ticket or whatever, to Destiny and John Doyle, is it? Is that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's cool. John Doyle is cool.
He's cool. So Destiny, speaking of all these people coming to central Pennsylvania, Destiny is going to be debating John Doyle.
Beta Cuck debates decent human being.
Yeah, it's going to be over who's more fit to be president, Trump or Kamala.
So that may be the end of my career. You may just see a wild John Ward pop on screen with weapons of mass destruction.
Does Destiny have like an actual following? Like, does he have, is it?
His wife does.
Yeah,
Does he have
sizable
a-
following. Yeah,
It's not just all.
I remember.
conservatives watching liberal get.
Oh, he's just like a hate magnet, you mean?
Yeah, that's where like I feel like he just is a grifter and just kind of says stuff.
I think
that's
he's
gonna
got
get-
quite a
This is
few,
the-
doesn't he?
This is
Wow.
actually the
I don't
second
know.
Uncensored America event hosting Destiny. The second, but he wasn't debating John Doyle. He was debating Elijah Schaefer over Ukraine. That event was actually wasn't nearly as controversial as the other events held on at Penn State, though. So it's unlikely that this one is going to get shut down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know Destiny and I don't know John Doyle. I know Sean. Sean's awesome. I'm really looking forward to having him on the show.
Well, I can tell you, people are flipping out on campus in terms of the posters for the debate. They keep ripping them down.
why?
Oh,
I
really?
don't know. They're just triggered.
By,
I mean,
by what? By what?
the fact that John Doyle's on them.
Who's? I don't know a lot about John Doyle either.
I mean, it's just because he's nominally conservative. Like any conservative poster that goes up on campus just gets ripped down. I mean, within 24 hours, half the students for Trump posters we had up in the Hub and Sackett and Willard and Buki torn down. We did do a little trolling. We intentionally put like 10 flyers around the Gender and Equity Center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, Destiny is so unlikable. They might just not like him because, like, the Palestinian protesters, they hate Destiny because he's really pro-Israel.
You might be right, actually.
yeah, that might actually have something
That's
to do
why
with
I'm confused. Like, does he have actual fans?
We'll find out. Are you guys gonna go?
it. I will be there.
I'm going to be there.
Are you guys gonna come to dinner afterwards?
With who?
Destiny and shit. John
Brother?
Doyle.
No.
Damn it.
I would.
I don't
go
think
to
I was
dinner.
invited.
What day is that?
Monday. This Monday.
Yeah, I'd totally go to that dinner.
At 8 p.m. Yeah.
Totally go to that.
Are you coming to the debate and shit?
I don't have tickets.
Just the tickets
I'll wait
themselves are
outside.
free. The tickets are free.
General admission is free, yeah.
General admission's free, but I don't know. Sean is a great dude. I really look forward to having him
Yeah.
in the studio, and he's.
Oh, yeah, and Mihai, one more thing. I can, if you want to work the event, I can get in touch with Sean, so that way you can get up front, talk to Destiny and John for free, as long as you just make sure.
As long as you just work.
security, basically. Yeah.
Now I want to see what he orders for dinner.
Destiny probably orders some soy substitute for meat.
Oh man.
No, he probably gets a ribeye, and I'm gonna go okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not
Yeah,
gonna say
but
anything.
John,
I'm just
would
gonna
you-
go, okay.
What if he's
would
like
you
the
be
coolest guy
Yeah,
ever?
it's-
What if we like all like him a lot?
He gets a Coors Light and a ribeye, man.
What were you saying?
Okay.
Somebody
Yeah,
said-
but John, I think Sean would let you live stream it since he's just going to be
well,
live
I'm
streaming it
talking
everywhere
to
else.
him about that. Yeah, so we'll see what we can do.
Okay,
I don't
nice.
want to step on the toes of it. I have avoided, as John Ward, like really interacting with other people that do this, even the people on our side, just because I fucking hate people. You know what I mean? Shit, being here right now with these two guys in the same room, brutal, and I like them. No, but so I'm gonna try to do more of that, and we'll keep it definitely going through the election, and then after that, I don't know, we'll see. But I have my own stuff I'm working on. But I will really try. Like we were trying to get Vivek to find out about this studio and get him in here. We're gonna try to do that as best we can. We're gonna try to get Charlie Kirk and Jack, if he comes back to town, we'll try to get him in here, out on the street, things like that. So I still have enough of a name for myself that it seems like people sort of know who I am, and some of that might happen. So we'll see. But I really do want to shout out Sean Semenko's Uncensored America is the company that's making this happen. And shit, man, hopefully it'll be a good time. And if Sean's cool with us live streaming it, we'll definitely do that. 100%.
Yeah.
All right. So busy ass weekend, and then the set will all be built out, and we'll be hopefully having some consistent shows and new shows starting next week, maybe the week after, but as much as possible before the election, and some live stuff. All right, I'm kind of rambling here. I think I need a cigarette. I'll throw it. Do you guys just want to keep going, or do you want me to throw up a 10-minute break, or do you want to come back, or do you want to call it a show here and go get hammered? It is Thirsty Thursday.
I'm up for anything. It's up to you boys.
Yeah. We saw some other topics that we could get into if you guys are okay with that.
I just at some point I'll figure out where to put this mic, and
That arm moves, man. It's like I bought a nice arm.
Needs some WD-40 or something.
It doesn't. You just need some man muscle.
Break it.
You might need to loosen the elbow or whatever. I don't know. All right. So nobody is saying anything at all. So what I am going to do is going to go to my...
Well, I mean, are we staying here or are you going? Are we all going? Jack?
I really want to smoke a cigarette right here live, but I'm like, look at these sprinklers and shit, man.
Yeah, no, don't do that. That's a lot of money if those are
Yeah.
going off.
Well,
I guess
I
we
was-
can just take a 10-minute break.
I was looking at the autist.
You want
was,
the break, Jack?
I'm pretty sure the sprinklers are
You
those
want
old
one?
mercury-based ones where they're heat-based, so like they won't go off unless the heat hits a certain level.
Well, there's one way to find out.
No, there is, but I just fucking set everything up in here. I'd be really upset with myself if I destroyed all of it on the very first cigarette. But it would be incredible to like have a fucking Sherlock pipe
It'd
in
be a
here.
viral moment, I bet.
It wouldn't make enough money to pay for the damage, though. Not to mention the time. Not to mention the time. Don't pass out.
No, you're saying
Everyone's-
don't puss out.
Had to crank. Is there
Let's
a
do some
volume?
case
Are we
stuff.
having a volume issue? Is that what's everybody always bitches about that? But again, on this end, it seems to be pretty much in the green. I did do a little. I'll say this quickly, and then we're gonna take a 10-minute break, and then we'll come back. How about that?
Okay.
Regathered with our thoughts collected.
But the sound is, like I said at the beginning, it's a little weird. Everything is rock solid surfaces, bouncing sound, so there's a bit of an echo, and I tried to adjust the settings a little bit on the microphones, which are finally decent ones. But it might be a little quiet or something like that. We are just in a blank space right now. There's shit all over the floor, as you can't see. I haven't had a chance.
Diddy's cell right now.
Yeah, we're in Diddy's cell right now. That's the way to say it. That is 100% the way to say it. And
Especially Jack.
yes, especially Jack.
He's actually streaming from prison.
So why don't I just turn our mics down and leave the chat up here? And like, it's not going to be 10 minutes. It'll be like 3 minutes. And we'll just be right back. But this is our dry run show from the news studio. We'll have that all built out shortly, hopefully for Sean on Sunday. But we will be right back, and we will keep talking about, how about this? Missing persons, arrested developments, preparing for the ineffable. We'll be back in roughly 5 minutes. Chat, say the nastiest, most horrible things you can. This is your chance. We'll be right back. Alrighty, coming back. Hey, give me a level real quick.
Hey.
You still on?
Hey.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Jack, you still there? You still there, Jack? He's taking a shit. All right, we'll come back. If you're just joining us or have recently joined us, we are indeed in the new studio. We jumped the gun a little bit before actually building the set just to get in here and start doing stuff.
Gotta figure these sort of things out before we get the guest in here on Saturday.
Yeah, well, uniquely, we have this weird problem of weird technical difficulties that only happen when we're live, not during tests. It's always been that way. But we did do some things in here, quite a bit higher speed internet and all of that. We will have this set up to take call-ins again like we did briefly. All that fun stuff. So, while we're waiting for Jack to show back up, I guess we did tell him. We did tell him it would be 10 minutes or so, didn't we?
We're going to put anti-war posters on campus.
Don't give away too many of your plans here.
You seen the ads where it's Donald Trump's been putting out, where it's just like,
I will save vaping.
I haven't seen that one.
Has he really done a save vaping one?
Yeah, he's like, Kamala and Tim want to ban vaping.
He should do it. What about Zinn?
Problem with that is he's the guy.
You know what Mihaly told me? I didn't know this, and maybe some of my viewers will find this amusing because I'm old. So I did. But is it true? Mihaly told me that conservatives use Zinn and liberals vape.
Yeah.
That's possible, yeah. I see it. I actually have those Zen posters up on campus right now. I see a bunch of guys with beards and mullets scanning my QR codes.
I probably think they can get Zinn rewards out of it.
I'm going to give you guys both a little more volume because you just won't fucking talk into the fucking microphones.
I don't know really how much closer I could. Really.
You don't need to get it. You just need to. Mwah!
Yeah.
You don't need to get Justin Bieber.
There you
close.
go. There it was. Yeah. You don't need to. You don't need to treat it like it's Odell Beckham. Okay.
All right.
You don't got to believe in it. How you, Jack? Are you there? You speaking?
Welcome back, Jack. We're live.
We are. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, I didn't unmute myself. Hey guys, I'm back.
All right, so I think I started to say. So thank you for joining us for our first dry live run. Everything seems to be okay. There was an issue with Rumble, but it appears to be on Rumble's end. So we'll take a look into that. Please, by all means, be absolutely brutal with us. Chat in your thoughts. We'll take it. We'll get used to it here. But we had talked about Diddy. That's a whole show unto itself. We've talked about Eric Adams getting indicted, mayor of New York City. We've talked about Nathan Wade is missing. Maybe this final hour we should just get some honest thoughts and takes, and then also from the chat, since we're 5 weeks, 6 weeks out from the election?
Yes.
What's going down? What's going to happen? If one of you guys wants to take it away, I'll try to keep an eye on the chat. I can almost read.
Mihai seemed very interested.
You did, kind of, honestly.
Did I?
What's going to...
Trying to get the...
What are you preparing for in 5 weeks and 1 day?
Tighten it with that little thing.
We're going to let it rock.
Okay.
What am I preparing for? That's the question, because there's so many things to prepare for. How do you prepare for everything at once? I don't know. There's a strong possibility we don't know, because, this isn't even me saying this. New York Times put out an article recently. That I don't know what you just did there, but that's it. That is money. You got it.
All right, as long as there's not too much echoing. Yeah, I turned your soft ass up. I said, this sounds like a young Justin Bieber. I need to give him a little boost. I need to Beckham him a little bit.
Don't put it like that. Don't ever say that.
All right. No, all right. So I'll start it off if you want me to.
Well, no, just to finish that up, though, New York Times put out an article saying we might not know who the president is for a month after the election.
They're preparing us for the,
if that's just what they're
17
saying now,
days of counting they want to do?
Yeah, what happens when it's 3 months later and we still don't know who the president is?
Yeah, and this just goes back to that election or just voting topic episode that John and I did a while back. The way we do our elections is flawed, and it's unnecessarily flawed. There's just a whole ton of things we could be doing better, but until we do that, I honestly think people have a point in questioning the integrity of our elections because there's just so many irregularities that can occur, and we're not doing anything to stop them.
Are you familiar with the compromise of 1873?
That's a no. None of us are. Go for it.
I believe it was Rutherford B. Hayes was the president after Ulysses S. Grant, and it was a tie election. At first, Hayes lost, then the recount Hayes won.
Could it be 1877?
That might be it. 1877, whatever the compromise. Anyways, they made a deal where they would put Hayes in office, but he had to end Reconstruction of the South. And that's how he became president. They were very fearful of reigniting the Civil War.
No written evidence of such a deal exists. Yeah, you're right, though, otherwise. So compromise of 18... I did not know about this. I'll have to read this.
I did know that Hayes, like Rutherford B. Hayes, was the one that got installed through the House of Representatives.
Mm-hmm.
And it was post-election. Like, he didn't originally win.
Mm-hmm. And then there was a recount, and he allegedly won. And
correct.
The deal was they would accept the results if he ended Reconstruction of the South, which was like the big thing they were running on in the first place.
Do you think we're going to have an election?
I would like to think we are.
Oh, well, I just say, okay, that's really not that echoey, is it?
I mean, you hate to even say it, but given that it's happened twice now in the last 90 days, what happens if they do successfully kill Trump?
Right. I mean, that is, I think, something you can't sniff at anymore. They're trying.
Well, I mean, look at
active kill teams.
Yeah, look
in
at
the
the
United States.
Department of Homeland Security bombshell report that found its way to Matt Gaetz' office.
You're not talking about the Iranian shit, are you?
Three of them are Iranian. Two of them
three.
are local homegrown terrorist organizations.
All right, I don't believe Iran is trying to kill Donald Trump.
I do, because he killed
he killed
Soleimani.
Soleimani.
Soleimani, yeah.
So
That was like, he was like their like Dwight Eisenhower.
Well, he's more like Dwight Eisenhower, isn't he?
Yeah, and Trump's such a badass. All he did was he just posted a picture of the American flag on Twitter and let the whole world know.
Oh, it shut off my auto highlights, right?
Let the whole world know he did it.
We got a super from Lord of the Ree. On the first day of the election, my true love gave to me a ballot sent for an absentee. On the second day of the election, well, you get the idea. I think you should finish those lyrics out, my friend, and finish
them out. Finish them out.
Robert Picklesnickle. The lady on the Charleroi dock made me so bummed. I hope we can MAGA. How do you feel about Scott Pressler's efforts in Pennsylvania? These are actually all good questions.
He's been instrumental. Like, he's probably, if PA goes to Trump, then I would say Scott is a major component to that. Like, he's been more involved than a lot of local GOP than just local GOP in certain areas.
I think there's some truth to that. Scott Pressler, I actually fucking didn't go meet him when he was here at the tailgate. I had shit I had to do, which kind of sucked. But
I did meet him, yeah.
I mean, it's a political thing talking about people like this.
I mean, I'm happy to have him. The more people we can get to vote, the more likely we are to win. So I don't really see.
Huge injection of energy and a big wake-up call to a lot of people. The one thing with Scott Pressler, I personally have no problem with this, obviously, and I don't think a lot of other people do. But in Pennsylvania, particularly with the Amish, you're not going to have a lot of luck, and you might downright offend them when you're an openly homosexual man with long hair. And I think Scott is not taking credit, but he's leaning towards taking credit for some things he didn't have a whole lot to do with. That being said, I will readily admit that he should take credit for a lot of shit that he has done. Mm-hmm. Everyone's so fucking weird. It really ought to be as simple, in my opinion, as let's all register to vote and get Trump elected and get our local candidates elected. It's not. It's politics. Everybody.
That's the matter, like the beast it is. They're all worried about what their job's going to be after.
Yep.
So, I can't deny Scott's been instrumental, and I'm going to be careful what I say on the stream. However, I am disgruntled that we've been promised help in Center County that has not came.
That's kind of part of what I'm getting at. Yeah. I mean, help is help, but like without helping, and then maybe
and then posting photos and taking photo ops. And then
That is his
claiming that
job.
you're doing stuff in the county.
I mean, it's a tricky thing. So I know, Mike Ben, Scott Pressler. Yeah, I mean, he's super visible. It was very much needed. The whole GOP needed a whole kick in the ass.
Because, I give him credit.
Yeah,
Bucks County, Luzerne
I
County,
can't
Beaver
deny
County.
that.
However, I do just, whenever it's essentially a 10-man team of the same people in our county trying to change the outcome that affects the entire state of Pennsylvania, I get very disappointed when somebody tells you for months that they're going to help in the area and tells multiple people in the area that he's going to help.
The problem is
hasn't came in to
the
help.
problem is Scott Pressler is the top of the funnel and we are the bottom. Scott Pressler is just getting people into the conversation. We're the one that's doing the work at the actual bottom. But you need the people at the top to get those people involved and have the opportunity.
It would be nice to have the occasional focus on our county.
Honestly, I would be lying too. I think it was watching Timcast in 2020 on Scott Pressler was on after the election. And that was just one of the first times I actually heard people talking about the things I was actually seeing in PA. So I had to he brought me into this whole world of all right, well, let's try and actually do something and maybe not just be a bystander like the last election.
Yeah, I mean, he's part of the reason, I ran into Scott Pressler on Twitter before I met the local GOP or anything, but he definitely kind of
100%
gave me a reason to get involved.
And he's an influencer, but
there you go.
With that status, it would be nice if it was used to help our county after being told we would get some help.
I do somewhat believe that there are, he has marching orders from the RNC. And
actually, I don't know that he does, because Early Vote Action is independent.
Well,
they all are.
Yes and no.
Yeah,
because he doesn't have a position with the RNC officially.
Yeah, well, do you want to read this out?
Had no idea possibly gay Pressler was in fact gay. I don't, it's just, I take no issue with that, however anybody else feels about it. But the thing is, it's not the kind of guy you send into certain places. It's just not.
Well, yeah, no, definitely not Amish.
Yeah, it's just not something you do. So,
yeah, well,
I think the deacon in Huntington has probably made way more headway with the Amish than Scott Pressler has. And what I just wouldn't want to see is Scott taking credit for that kind of stuff.
I don't know. Scott Pressler to me doesn't seem like the kind of guy that takes that takes credit that isn't his.
Well,
he's definitely better than
Jack. To be fair, you've been gone for the last 2 months.
Yeah, you've been fucking MIA, buddy.
From what I've seen on Twitter and everything.
Yeah, you're looking at Twitter. You have validated the argument.
That's kind of
okay. Well, he's still way better than some dumb bitch like Ronna McDaniel or Ronna Romney.
Again, that's what we're saying.
Disagree with you on
any
that.
support at all.
Politics is weird. There's a lot of egos. Everybody getting involved in this immediately makes you want to stop being involved half the time. But he knows what he's a little more calculating than I think people.
Mostly peaceful combat vet.
Yeah, that was actually the first thing. Sorry, when I picked up when I went up to his tent and. I got introduced to him. It was very much this is a business opportunity. Hey, how you doing? He started slowly backing up. All of a sudden we're here, and he's like, here's a photo real quick. And I was like, okay. Wasn't even on my phone. I don't even know where the photo is. It was obviously for him, and he probably took 1,000 photos that day and took the best 5 and put them on Twitter.
Yeah, and it's again, there's no. He should be doing that.
Yeah,
he's supposed to make
marketing, baby.
But there's a whole side of the conservative crowd, especially in Pennsylvania, that they don't really want their face to be Scott Pressler.
No, yeah.
And
there's an interesting dynamic with boomer women.
The old guard,
the old lady, the old ladies love this man.
Really, I could actually see that.
Nobody dislikes him. It's just something to talk about. I'm glad he's here.
Very much so.
The true story of Scott Pressler will not be known for another 20 years, probably. I mean, he very well may keep doing all of this awesomely, and I'll eat my words, but
I'm
doesn't quite
for what he's done, but I would just as a team that's struggling in this county, would like to see some help, especially with the biggest fucking university on the Eastern Seaboard.
I agree. I agree. I gotta believe that they're putting the amount of resources into this area that their research tells them they should. I don't know.
And it's just like there's a lack of resources in our area. I mean, it's not that there's a lack.
The lack of
there's not a mobilization of resources in our area.
Yeah. Like everybody in this area for the most part is pretty conservative. I would say like outside of the university anyway.
Well, I mean, even the Charlie Kirk event, though, suggests that the university's rank and file.
Well, you cannot get these people to give you like $1 damn.
No, that's the problem.
And yet they'll turn around and be like, we need to kill everyone because we have training.
So I have a theory about this.
Go ahead.
And so for a few years, we heard this like stupid narrative that Trump is toxic to the GOP, that he keeps people away from coming from voting in GOP elections. However, it's the exact opposite. Increasingly, we see that the GOP, internally, has just massive problems, and as a result, they're overly reliant on Trump to get working class and middle class voters out to the polls. And all these candidates that, if you look at current polling in key swing states, Trump is ahead of all of the just general GOP politicians that typically did not jump onto the Trump bandwagon. And I think that's really biting them in the ass, because if they had jumped on it earlier, then they would have reinvigorated the Trump base early on.
I don't know.
However,
but you've got
it's
these
not
swing
reflecting
states.
the polling.
You've got these swing states, though, where some of those candidates can't jump on that bandwagon, no matter how MAGA or America First they might be, because of the demographics of their district. Because I can tell you, some local polling suggests various local candidates cannot come out and say, when they're in the middle of downtown State College, that they're full on with the America First MAGA movement.
Is politics?
Well,
yeah.
like which ones? Like
I'm not naming those names on this show, Jack. I'm just telling you that internal polling in our area suggests the opposite of what you were saying.
It couldn't be one of the two that we plugged about 15 minutes ago, but he might be right, Jack. I don't know. It's tough because part of me almost wants to say they would be better off if they just came out and were upfront about it, because I think there's a lot of closeted MAGA people.
Me too, and I wish that there are things that I wish that.
But there's no way to measure that on a metric.
No, and considering the internal polling we have, I would not want to jump on that train to go off a cliff.
You would definitely you would die on that hill for sure.
Well, if we're relying on the sort of voters that we did in the past, like the people who would vote for like Paul Ryan, Mitt Romney, like sort of white collar voters, they're like, we can't rely on those types of voters anymore. Like they're the types that have just gone to the Dems, and even if they say that they're going to vote for like a never Trump candidate or like a non-MAGA candidate like Nikki Haley, that's not a guarantee that they're going to vote for her in a presidential election. Sure, they might vote for a non-MAGA candidate or an anti-Trump candidate in the general or the primary, because they hate Trump so much, but that's no guarantee that they're not going to still vote for them in the presidential election.
But I even wonder how many of those voters from the primary, this past primary, voting for Haley downtown State College, were not just Democrats that switched party to vote against Trump.
100%.
I think that was probably a large majority of them, to be honest.
I think all of you guys, not just the young guys, but older people, you put way too much stock in fucking polling. It's horseshit. I don't understand it.
I don't think it's horseshit whenever the polling lines up with the 2022 election results for the same district.
It's not 2020. It's 2 years later.
Yes, however, we see a repetitive pattern.
What the fuck is going on with Pilled, by the way?
Wouldn't that be against your argument, though? If it's the same exact numbers, wouldn't it have changed?
Like, you, answer me this. Let me be a little douchey here. All right. You will all admit, like, you remember Hillary Clinton's poll numbers, right?
Yes.
And how fucking bullshit that was. You've seen, I mean, I don't know.
Obviously.
The way the numbers.
John, hold on. The point that I bring up about polls is what you're saying. Hillary was up by 6 or 7%. Biden was up by 7%. Kamala's only up by 1 to 2% in some of these polls. That's the point I'm making.
You're saying the bullshit this year is more favorable than the bullshit 4 years ago. It's all bullshit.
No, I'm saying if there's a, say, give or take 6.5% range of error, that is now even heavily increased into Trump's.
It's lies. You don't call 1,000 people in a country of 300 million and get any sort of
no. You have to look at
information
definitely ones that have like way the more people, the more accurate.
You
Obviously,
see, I would argue local polls though aren't bullshit. Nationwide
Have
polls,
you
yeah,
gotten a
absolute
goddamn
bullshit.
call from a poll? Because I have, and I've said everything from I'm going to vote for Trump to I'm literally assassinating him right now as we speak because no one gives a shit. And it's like, we sit here, we care about politics, and I don't think it is fully understood by the local campaigns. Trump, honestly, I think understands this the best, to the degree to which people actually
Then
care.
why does Trump run his own polls too?
Trump conducts himself in a way that matches what I think is most accurate to the average American. I
agree. It was when he asked for ketchup on his steak. And the
he
CNN
does
made
all
fun
kinds of shit that you would be like that in every poll we've ever done says that is not the right thing to do, and he's been right almost every single time.
No, in 2015, Trump was like at a diner close to election night, ordered a well-done steak with ketchup.
That is
and
rough. If I had known that, I might not have voted. I'm kidding.
CNN was making fun of him for it, but there was a lot of Americans, a middle American, going, "Hey, that's
a little
how
more,
I like my steak."
Some people will just back Trump up by the fact that CNN attacks him. You know what I mean? It's
that probably won him Ohio. I could see a lot of people in Ohio eating their steaks.
Somebody on the comment here, Zeb, is saying, John, internal polling is accurate, but they'll never release them. Like, I'm more inclined to believe that is true. It is possible using statistics.
And I think you could make an argument that you could say Kamala's internal polling must be bad if they're now trying to get her out on
100%, but it's still.
And when she starts to get desperate, that must mean that they know something.
Because I would make the argument in a local polling where you're polling a district of just 15,000 voters that a 500-person poll is not that.
That is a little bit different, yes. So you have the capital or the lowercase n or whatever it is. Geez, it's been a long time. But you have your n number of participants, and then you have your n population. And there's things there that matter. You can't, if you have 1,000 people and you poll 999 of them, it's going to be a lot more accurate poll. But like this idea that you can call a certain area... You also got to understand how they do these things. Like if you do a phone call survey, it's immediately skewed very old people.
Correct, and also
immediately.
And I can tell you, it's also heavily skewed towards independence in our case, which is not an accurate representation.
Well, at the same time, people put all this stock in these polls that are also out there, and they're saying the silent majority is lurking. It's like, all right, well, so you obviously have some understanding that your poll's bullshit. You can't make people participate with the poll, and you can't make them be honest about it.
However, what I can tell you from the results, though, is that depending on where the zip code comes from, whenever it's skewed towards State College, I can tell you how we're going to perform in State College proper.
All right.
We got to bust our balls in the north.
You tell me how many votes the local candidates will get. Not right now, but at some point, and you will give me $100 when you're wrong about the number of votes they will get. How's that?
Yeah. I'm banking on.
You went from sure to pretty sure real quick, bro.
Here's the thing: until you sit down and start
broken
busting
down in
your
percentage
ass
basis.
With that margin, what margin of error would you like on this vote number? How many standard deviations? They're not 100% useless.
No, that's what I'm getting at.
But they're 99.999% useless.
But they can tell me.
I would say
some of the top
60%
issues.
useless.
They can tell me the top issues that people that are answering care about. That can help me with messaging.
If you got a call every hour for the next 10 days and said, "What's your biggest issue?" you'd give different answers every fucking time.
Yeah, except whenever the same answer starts piling up.
What's the same answer that piles up?
The economy is the number one, you dumbass.
I don't think. I honestly don't know.
And immigration's number two by only like 2% behind.
It's spiritual, man. people are throwing these labels at what the real problem is.
I thought it was putting litter boxes in the bathroom.
That's a big one too. But like, all right, I mean, there's something that we haven't even begun to touch upon is what happens when Trump's gone. That is a mega problem that nobody talks about.
Which is what I think we need to spend the next 2 years.
Well, that's what
working
I'm
on.
saying is when someone says the economy or it's
Problem with that
like
question is
right
you can't
now
even-
maybe.
No, right now
Well-
people are like concerned about it just because it's what's pressing them right now.
But you should
The
be.
same
Well,
way that
Because there is
immigration
a reality in which he loses, and then what?
Good question.
Well, the problem with Trump is that he feels like it's twofold. He brings the policies and he brings the charisma. I don't think that there's, like I say this respectfully, I don't think there's any other candidate that brings the same level of charisma.
What does
that
that have to
Trump's-
do with the
Trump
accuracy of
brings right
polling,
now.
Jack?
No, the problem is that
Because the charisma is a factor, like in getting people to come out to.
It's
to
also
vote
he's
for
a
them.
like I hate this term strong man, but he is essentially the strong man of the MAGA movement.
For sure.
And there's ideally I think JD Vance was named his successor. But like it's I'm not saying that I 100% agree with JD Vance. What I'm saying is Trump's VP pick this year was, I think, more so a successor choice than a generic, oh, let's appeal to a like Mike
JD
Pence-
Vance is to keep an eye on things for Peter Thiel. 100%. That's my
Well,
take. You
Mike
can disagree
Pence-
with me, but that's why
I
he's
will
there.
disagree with you on this because Mike Pence was put in to win over the evangelical
Yes,
Christians
it is
that are
not
like,
2016 though.
So what
No,
I'm
but-
getting at though is that immediately after Trump gets shot, he ends up picking another MAGA-esque candidate instead of picking a moderate to balance him out.
But I think JD's a smart pick because I think he appeals to the same way that Pence appealed to the
This
evangelicals.
is a political compromise.
I think JD appeals more so to like the Fox News Republicans that were kind of unsure about Trump still throughout the primary process, and now that Tucker's not there to be his boy and talk to those people every night. I think JD Vance plays that role well of going on at all the Fox shows and
I don't know that
giving
that's-
old people what they want.
I don't know that that's necessarily true. JD Vance has quite populist opinions on a number of issues.
No, but
such as-
the way he carries himself and the way he talks is what they want. They don't actually care about what the people say. It's just, is he mean or is he nice?
Yeah, you're saying it's less the policies and more so the aesthetic.
Yeah, yeah.
We were talking about polling and statistics.
You're the one that brought it here.
I know. No, I didn't.
Most definitely.
You
I
did.
kept
You
trying to bring
literally
it back
ju-
here.
No. You went, what do we do after Trump?
Yeah.
As an aside from the main topic of why the polling is all, someone says, I care about the economy. It's like, well, then you ought to be thinking about what happens after fucking Trump. I'm not saying Trump will get assassinated, but like he's going to be gone in 4 years
If
one
a
way or
train
another.
takes a wrong turn, the track wasn't switched. You're going to back the train up?
Trolley
or you
probleming me right now?
You're just going to back the train up, you're going to keep going.
I would just, I missed the first part, but I'd keep going.
That's right. I said if the train missed a turn, the track wasn't switched, you're going to back the train up the whole way, or you're just going to keep going?
You're not wrong, but that's the very kind of unscientific momentum that Trump is. It's not an accident. Trump does stuff that converts voters. Converted me. I didn't care at all in 2016 or whatever. People say in a poll, you pull them up on a poll one day, they say the economy. The next day they say immigration. It depends on, if a Mexican broke into their car that night or something like that.
Yeah.
I think there is an underlying problem to all of this that polling won't really get at, and even if they ask the right question, people would not answer it honestly.
Well, but the problem with polling is also I think they use it as a way to cover up cheating. Whereas if it's close, then they
That
can
and
say
it's
the polling
literally
said it was
a
close.
lot of polls are just straight up lies and propaganda. And there's all like
Yeah.
you can again you
like
take
how all the polls came out after.
you take a basic statistics class and you'll learn something like, okay, you can ask a question. It's like, do you like Donald Trump? Pretty easy version. You can also say, do you not like Donald Trump? You could also say, do you not like Donald Trump? And they do this all the fucking time. And it just fucking makes the poll totally useless because you don't even know. It's called internal reliability in creating a study or something like that. Here's an example. When I said study fucking monkeys, all right, we had this monkey that would run around and you would watch it and you'd take notes and you would just like, was this an aggressive behavior? Was this a sexual behavior? Was this a parental behavior? It didn't matter. And then there's something in that called inter-observer reliability. So there's two different scientists watching these monkeys, and they try to develop a standardized way. But you don't one person might mark it as aggressive and one person might mark it as sexual. And so by the end of it, you're like, why the fuck is this? This isn't real science. Mm-hmm. This kind of shit happens all the time. The person, you might ask somebody all these poll questions and they think they've been very pro-Trump, but you've been throwing these double negatives in there and then you chalk them up as a very anti-Trump person. Or like, I could write a poll that would make it look like the number one issue was the economy, no matter what fucking people answered. And I have a very basic understanding of it. I could make it look like people cared about immigration. And I just think this stuff all changes too much. I think there's a more underlying fundamental, freedom, individuality, spirit, freedom of religion. Like it's almost 1776
What are you trying to get out of
celebrate.
us? What do you think our beef with you is? Right?
I don't think you have a beef. I just, rather than these poll numbers that you'll on the one hand agree don't mean anything, and on the other hand trust it. Well, what is the problem?
I don't know. You're the one that seems like you have a problem right now.
No, what is the problem with like this? What are people voting on?
you were
What is
pressing me then.
what is the key issue?
What's the key issue?
Is it? Do you?
It depends on the person. Obviously.
Do you believe that if the economy is somehow improved, that this country is suddenly doing great? That we've solved the main issues.
We're not. I'm not here to
No,
tell
but
you to solve
the people
the
that
problems.
determine the election. Yes.
Yeah, what I'm saying is you rely on this to just pragmatically win one election at a time and push a policy over numerous elections through the victories you make by fighting one battle at a time.
I agree, and I think polls are almost totally useless in accomplishing any of that. So
I
that's
would
what I'm
disagree at the local level. I would very much so disagree, especially with the race we're working with now.
Chat, how do you feel about polls, chat? God, what is going on with Pilled, man? All right, I'm going to do some Pilled and Rumble research. Key issue and the Fed. All right, yeah, so fair enough. I'll admit I derailed that in as many ways as humanly possible. I just think the polling it makes you feel safe. It's the same shit as like the
this
experts
doesn't make me
say.
feel safe, my guy.
You know what? There it is. That's the crux of my argument. Experts say. That's what a poll is the statement experts say. But I've learned over the past 10 years that the experts are fucking retarded.
Yeah.
So I know for a fact that there's polls out there. Like Nate Silver is the one guy that's maybe
That's
trying.
really who I mostly fucking look at.
He's maybe trying to resurrect his brand. But even he was so obviously a propagandist when Hillary was running. It's like, why does anybody even fucking listen to this people? They've proven they're willing to lie.
Allegedly have a brand new model that no one else uses.
Well, yeah, and I mean, to some degree, I think what I've read of his stuff seems fairly accurate, and he gets a bunch of shit from all the other pollsters about this stuff he's using in his model that makes no sense. Someone want to read that for me?
There is one guy that's predicted
real quick.
Our issue is the boomer question. So many effete liberal boomers are completely TDS in a way no other current gen is.
No, I completely agree. Door knocking, that is you'll come across boomer-aged men and women who will come to the door, and their first question as soon as you say, "Hi, I'm so-and-so running for office XYZ. Oh, do you support Trump? Because if you do, I'm not fucking voting for you." And that's what you get. And it's just
Often?
my brother in Christ.
Like that happens?
This happens numerous times a day, door knocking in State College. TDS is real.
In State College there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I had a guy. I spent an entire day installing a door with this guy. It was a freaking massive sliding screen door on the second floor, and there was no deck built yet, so I'm hanging out thinking I'm about to fall off and die. We thought we built some sort of brotherhood over that. He held me and I was hanging over the edge, and we put that door in. And we're walking away from the job site. We're walking down the driveway. And he says something about I just stay up late and watch TV at night. And I made some wise ass joke. I said, "Well, what do you watch?" And you just watch Matlock reruns all night. And he was old. He said, "No, I watch so and so." I was like, "Oh, I don't know that one." He's like, "It's on MSNBC." I said, "Oh, you're probably not gonna like me then." He said, "Why is that?" I said, "Well, I'm a big Trump guy. I'm the one putting up all these signs." He said, "Oh, well, you just think us service members are all idiots, don't you? And I said, just the ones that vote for Biden, it was at the time. I said, just the ones that are voting for Biden. See ya. And I got out of there. But he was, as I'm driving away, I could see him in the mirror. Still, he was so mad.
He's
He was so mad.
short-circuited.
We had spent like 3 hours, like, totally chill, hanging out, putting in a door together, laughing, making jokes. Then the second Trump came up, I was his number one enemy in that moment.
So when you see a poll that talks about this number of people being undecided, do you believe it? Like, do you think there's that many undecided?
So when I joked earlier, I said this election is going to be determined by the 20,000 dumbest people in Pennsylvania, because who doesn't know who they're voting for at this point? How can you be so out of touch and so on?
So Haitians are going to decide.
I guess so. The people that are still getting here.
I don't know. Keep. I mean,
So
good thoughts.
I would say it depends on the race once again. I think there are genuine undecideds for Bob Casey and Dave McCormick. I think there are genuine undecideds for the state house races and state senate races.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a name ID thing as well.
Right.
People don't know that. Every damn American knows Donald Trump's
Right.
name.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's actually an interest. So that is more inclined to believe is a battle. But like when you try to connect the smaller market candidates or whatever with, because I mean Teresa's not Trump, Maria's not Trump in good ways. All those things. It's people don't know who they are. So you conduct this poll on local. I don't know. I think the most meaningful polls, which I don't think are meaningful at all, are about Trump and Kamala Harris.
Yeah, it's like that's like none of the internal polling here has to do with Trump beyond just to get a see, like a rough feeling for how the local voters feel about Trump and Dave McCormick.
A poll is measuring what the people who care think.
Yes.
It's totally leaving out all the people who don't care, which is most people.
And so the other thing is, though, like nominally speaking, we can rely on those people who don't care to be in our corner to a degree whenever it comes to rural America.
What percentage of voters, like, what are you expecting? Do you have those numbers? Turnout?
I haven't ran those numbers yet.
Be curious to know. Excuse me.
I know what our targets are.
Well, sure. Yeah. Like, do you know what percentage of Center County residents voted in 2020?
Countywide, no, because it's broken into 3 different.
Oh, do you know the district?
And
82nd, let's say?
Well, in 2022, we only had 9,000 people turn out.
Out of, what is that? Was it 30,000 or something?
Yeah.
So less than a third.
Correct.
So,
31.
The people that are freaking answering those polls, though.
You think so?
Those are the ones that are actually the people that care, are the ones that are going to make.
Oh, yeah, those are the ones that all went and voted, I'm
yeah.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, so that would lean towards the polls could be
But
accurate,
think about that, is you have 2/3 of people won't even pick up the phone for the poll. So God knows what they think. They probably don't think anything at all. I mean,
No, the question is, how do you reach them?
that's more why I'm giving polling shit, is I think it's just stopping short of understanding what's actually going on. And maybe there's not an answer to that. I don't know. Maybe the chat has an answer to that. But as much as I hate to believe it, historically the larger proportions won't start caring until shit gets a lot fucking worse than it is now. Mm-hmm. I think it's terrible. I think we're all forward looking enough to see, and that's why I say what happens after Trump. Most people don't even think about what happens if Trump or Kamala. As far as they can tell, it's all the same shit.
What happens in 2 months?
Right. Or like if Trump gets killed, right? Or if Trump wins, he's still got this looming jail sentence. That shit's not over.
How long until California secedes if Trump wins?
Texas is going to get flipped blue if something doesn't change.
No, that's the projections.
Mm-hmm.
Texas is going to flip blue by 2026.
I lived in Texas for almost 5 years. As much as I love the conservative people there, they are not mentally equipped with the army they're fighting against. They don't know what they're dealing with, and they won't acknowledge it. They're going to lose unless they do something differently.
Who circle jerk? My poll is easily manipulated. Wild comment.
Polls are gay, David Oler King. That's a crazy take. Hopefully it was mine. Polls are easily manipulated. You said straight ticket voting. Even that, like, why can't we get straight ticket? Maybe
Well, one straight ticket doesn't exist in Pennsylvania.
There is,
anymore.
doesn't it? I didn't even know
there
that.
is a level of McCarthyism to this polling, though, where you just have this ominous piece of paper that you can't show, but you know it's right.
I'm
in your favor, but I understand both sides. I mean, I'm still
Until
65% BS on polls, but for what they're intended, that 35%.
That
Could be
35%
accurate.
is the only thing we really have to work with whenever you have unknown candidates to the public.
But if I, in a general sense, said, Danny, I'm going to ask you an answer to a problem, and I'm only going to give you 30% of the information to solve the problem, without even starting to do anything at all, how accurate do you think your solution will be? And you'd be like, well, 30%? I'm probably not that accurate. Wouldn't you say that?
Correct. But what are you going to do? Like, everybody who's criticizing this, what are you guys doing to change the, like, you are not the example here.
No, I know. No,
Like, you're working your ass off to change the outcome
So
of the
I
election.
think that is what Scott Pressler is doing is what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
It just needs to be done by more Pennsylvanian type people. I mean, Scott is great for Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. I think even State College, Scott Pressler is fucking great. That's his bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? But there's other people that we need. That this should have all been done years ago. And I think Trump has been trying to fight the
I
RNC,
think
right?
I've told you this, and I think Mia and I have had this conversation quite a few
Free
times.
Golem. Hold that thought for a second. Let's get this.
Wait.
You pull it back up. We got to read out.
Yes.
My favorite BS poll question: do you think corporations should pay their fair share? An assertion disguised as a question. I agree.
That's a great.
That's just
Yeah,
No, that's poll manipulation. and
Exactly.
I do have to say, it depends on, like, if you intentionally want your poll to be accurate, you're going to, if you want your poll to be a fundraising tactic, you're going to intentionally try to skew the results. If you internally want to know how you appear to the public, you're going to try to have the most open-ended, let the answeree try to actually tell you what they think rather than leading them with the question.
well, Danny, you're
but-
assuming
but-
that they want accurate information out, and there are people out there that purposely formulate polls to just sort of.
That's what I just
Just
said,
sort
though.
of
No, I
show
think-
sort of show
hold on.
everyone else what to think.
But the problem is then, for all the different types of polls that you just described, how is your average person supposed to discern which one is true, and how are they supposed to know which number is actually accurate?
Well, I think it doesn't really matter to that. It doesn't matter for them. My arguing for polls is for the candidates team themselves to try to have the most accurate, like, questions they can. It all boils down to what the purpose of the poll is. Like I said earlier, if you're trying to fundraise, you're going to ask leading questions to then present skewed data in your favor to donors.
Even worse than that, if you're trying to rig an election, then you want the polls before the election to make the rigging believable. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
So, like, who is the number one pollster? Let's approach it. Like, who has the best reputation? Is it Nate Silver? Like,
Who's the guy?
if the-
Also, Rich Bears is pretty good.
Okay.
Is that his name?
I remember hearing about a guy in 2016 who had never predicted an election wrong, and he chose Trump, and it was like a big deal. And I remember obviously Trump won, but I haven't heard. I think he might have actually picked Biden. No, I think he picked Trump again in 2020, and that was his first loss.
The OG
even
TLT.
whoever they are, I guarantee you that at least 50% of people think they're retarded and their methodology sucks. Like, that is a statement to how fickle polling is as a science. Is that the best? If it was a science, there'd be a company out there that got it right every fucking time. There isn't, so it's not a science.
It's just speculation.
Best case scenario, it's a speculation. But like we've already, I think, all agree, there's all kinds of polls designed to make the results believable. Polls designed to influence the way you vote. You know, all polls for the fun. You're 100% right about that. Yeah, polls that, hey, we're about to win, you know, or hey, we're about to lose. Whatever, give us more money is the point of that poll. But that's kind of, to me, the dagger in the heart of the idea that polls are useful is that if it, like you know, Michael Jordan for a period of 10 years was a pretty good bet to win the NBA Finals. Like, and that's like it. That's as good as polling basketball results has ever gotten. And now it's like a complete clusterfuck. And it just, most of the time you don't fucking know who's going to win or why, or despite everybody betting shit tons of money on it. It's like betting on sports is the same shit as polling on politics.
Correct. But it's still, whenever you have no infrastructure to go off of, the polling it helps to just formulate.
I think it just
I would
makes
say-
you feel good. It just feels safe when it's not.
I would say betting market's probably more accurate.
I agree. Anything that involves, so I think one of the most
Actual
accurate
money on the line.
Well, there's that cookie sale, you know that one? So something that requires a person to take an actual action is much more reliable than something that's a question that they can lie about with no consequences. And so there's these people that sell Trump cookies and Kamala cookies.
Yeah,
Or
there's
Trump.
one in PA that's
Right.
getting overwhelmed with.
Well,
like,
there
Trump,
was this
Trump
one that
voters.
has gotten every election for like 50 years right based on cookie sales, except by,
2020.
yeah, which is again,
Well, that was another reason when the guy that got his poll wrong 2020, they were using that as an example.
yeah. So if you want an accurate poll, like look at somewhere where somebody had to spend money on like then, or like walk 100 miles, like set out a Trump flag and a Kamala flag 100 miles in the middle of nowhere and see how many people show up to the challenge. Like that would be a much more accurate poll.
So like betting markets, you would say are like better predictors.
For the most part, but again, if Kamala Harris, for example, is willing to pay for fake polls, and I guarantee you they're putting in fake bets. I guarantee you they are, just to keep the odds probably cheaper than hiring a fake poll in a lot of ways. I don't know. It's how much of our infrastructure of polling and gambling and all of that is captured enough to be fake. Because if it has, you can't fucking trust it. It's not about that it's wrong. It's just that you remove that from your calculus.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And I think, but this is where my point comes down to is locally ran polls have more, I'd say, meat to the result.
I agree, but do
Than a
you
nationwide poll.
do you have access to like how they conduct these polls?
Yes. They're like, you're provided a methodology and all that stuff.
I'd be curious to read that. Genuinely. Because you can conduct a reasonable poll if you're looking at a certain sized population and you sample a certain number of people in certain demographics, then you can statistically say, with this margin of error, this is indicative of this population. Like that is possible. It just doesn't get done very often.
No, I get that. But like I said, it just boils down to, I think, fundamentally, the proportion to an answer to the population. Like one answer for every 100,000 people is not going to be nearly as accurate as one answer for every 50 people.
Right. Right, yeah. So, I mean, you'd have a better luck polling in Center County than you would in the state of Pennsylvania.
Only a third of Center County at that. So,
still a lot of fucking people. And a lot of them are lying. And I'm one of them.
John was 9 of them.
It's like 9 to 10
Every
of
different
them.
phone.
Free Golem calipers are great for measuring until they are out of calibration. It's a good comment, honestly.
but back to the point earlier before we read the previous super chat.
Thank you, Free Golem.
We were talking about the infrastructure to win elections. And I've talked with Mihaly, I've talked with people in local campaigns, on larger scale campaigns. I feel like we are running a handicapped race with our hands tied behind our back because we are now only figuring out how to use various infrastructure.
This is how it works, buddy.
projects.
Welcome to being a fucking adult. God, it's so... You have to, like, a lot of the adults working in local politics, they have their hands tied. Like, you see how the funding works and the shit they would do if they could. Like, it sucks for fucking everybody. And I really think the main reason the left captured politics and culture is because they have way more people willing to spend their entire life doing it for no money at all and being dirt poor, disgusting degenerates. Like, you just don't know that many people that are on the right wing that are willing to make those kind of sacrifices for no money at all to help. And so I don't know, like, I don't really blame people on our side or on the other side when they're like, you know, I need some help, or I need more money, or I need more volunteers. And then
You're telling me we don't even have dang soap in the bathroom. What am I doing?
Another thing I think is worth taking note of is how the left, like their leadership, seems to protect their own or seems to show loyalty to their own.
I agree.
Whereas at the opposite end, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of infighting here. Like,
There's a lot. I mean, we were kind of bitching about Scott Presser. I'll take the blame for that. But I mean, that guy's done so much good. Do I even have a right? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Jack.
But like at this point, we're still getting people like still butthurt that Ron DeSantis didn't win. So they're just going at Trump for any little thing, like purity testing him and other like Trump endorsed candidates
Purity
constantly.
test. That's a good term.
Yeah, it's just stupid. And with that in mind, it's just sort of if you don't pass these bullshit purity tests, then you're never going to get anywhere career wise.
You see, honestly though, we constantly I had to sit in so many stupid ass meetings about party unity following the primary. And to be frank, I'm glad we're a party that can disagree. There's individuality to that.
I agree.
While I agree with Jack on like the Ron DeSantis stuff, I don't think that we should be just trying to drag down our presidential candidate because it doesn't help us win.
Well, Republicans are the only ones that uphold the system as intended. We are still believe in the system. We still follow the system. The Democrats play by their own rules and have done so for a while. The second Republicans decide to no longer follow the system will completely collapse.
And
yeah,
I mean,
but
no,
go ahead,
Jack.
Danny.
What I was gonna say is I don't want us to sacrifice our like individual thoughts about the direction of the country for the sake of a groupthink party the way that the Democrats do. Like think about how many times various Democratic representatives had to sell out their conscience. I mean, they might enjoy doing it. Who knows?
Like
probably, but
like Paul Takak singing to HOTT or whatever that song is.
Yes, or something like. I mean, like kudos to Manchin and Sinema for leaving the party and doing their own thing at times. Yeah, are they nominally good senators? No, they're not. They're still bad senators. But kudos to them for being willing to like buck their party a little bit. I don't want the Republican Party to lose the fact that we're able to have disagreements within our rank and file.
Yes, but we also need to be able to. We need to do a better job of forming coalitions when our backs are really against.
And
the
this
wall.
is this is my thought: is the Republican Party in election season needs to move in lockstep, but whenever it's no.
So what does that mean? What's preventing it from moving in lockstep? Like in your opinion, as a 20-something,
there's so many different groups within the Republican Party that think their way of doing things is right.
Well, make that even more general for me. So there's a bunch of groups that want to do it their way?
Want to do it their way and believe that their way is the right way. But the problem is, my argument would be to them, you can't make a decision on anything unless you get power first. You have to win the election, and then we can make these decisions.
I think the right has a leadership problem, but it's not because we don't have leaders. It's because everyone wants to be one. And the left...
No.
You don't think so?
Not amongst the younger generation. The younger generation...
Well, that's why you guys and I can get along without killing each other. I see how you... Like, I have a lot of hope in what you guys are doing, and I would like to make that happen however I can. I'm just here for... We fucked it up. I mean,
something like 30% of Gen Z newly hired employees in the past year have been fired within 1 year of their job.
Yeah, I got to be honest. Sometimes dealing with you guys drives me... People 20 years older than me think I'm fucking irresponsible, and sometimes I do shit with you.
And we're the good ones. Think about that.
I know. It occurred to me as like, this is as good. But what I have to be honest with myself about is I'm missing some of my own. Like, it's not your fucking job to lead yet. It's not. It's my job to. And I don't,
But the problem is you are never expected to lead.
I think we're trying to piece back together a culture that was lost. And I think it was lost. There's no, we say boomers and things like that. I think they had a whole thing they got hit with that we can never, like, no television to television all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah. No,
that's going to fuck with your head.
Change. Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm almost 40, and I'm like, all right, I had my period through, 15, 20, something like that, of being essentially a liberal. And then you wake the fuck up. I can't understand why older people haven't woken the fuck up. I just can't get it. But then there's times where, like, we start doing stuff, and then, the weekend comes around, and you got other plans. And I'm like, don't you realize the country's about to burn down? And I got to step back and be like, number one, I don't fucking know that that's true. And it's not your job to do what I want. I don't have all the answers. I just know we got to put in work. Like, the polling is great. The messaging is great, but like in it, so I'll maybe apologize to Scott Presser this way for all the things I think he's maybe not doing right. That is what we need.
Yeah, honestly, and my criticisms come from a place of just wanting his help here. Not that I disagree.
I get that.
Yeah,
I do understand that. Yeah, like you guys are screaming like I am ready, turn me loose, but I need some help. And nobody helps you, and so you never get turned loose. And I've been dealing with that for 10 years with YouTube almost. It's like, man, $1 per subscriber, or there's so many people out there. I mean, how much funding does someone like Charlie Kirk get? I know who funds Charlie Kirk. He's a bazillionaire. For $100,000 is double what we spent on this easily. It's like it's.
Yeah, but the difference between you and Charlie Kirk is I couldn't see you wearing a suit and tie.
Charlie Kirk, I'm not trying to do what Charlie Kirk is doing. I'm trying to address what I see
my
as
point.
the real. Well, yeah, there's not a lot of money in fixing problems. There's a lot more money in
but
keeping them going.
To be fair, though, when it comes to at least this election cycle, Charlie Kirk's campus efforts are going to be instrumental.
He has value,
For sure.
way more than
For sure.
the John Ward channel does right now. Yeah, I can't lie to myself about that. It's people will give him money. He's also shown a willingness to be a bit of a puppet for money. You know what I mean?
I do.
I think Charlie Kirk's grown a lot since then. To be fair, John.
I also,
Oh no,
I also wanted to highlight
100% right. He's
that as
changed.
somebody who I would not be here with you guys if it weren't for Turning Point USA.
He's young.
Turning
too.
Point USA is what got me involved in politics.
It's really tricky. Yeah, all these. I mean, I've shit on everyone that's out there, left and right, and sometimes you look back and you got to be like, part of the reason I'm doing this is because of this. Alex Jones is getting shut down. I don't know how you guys feel about InfoWars, but
You should buy all his stuff.
yeah, for a fucking $1.
and then
Maybe you should
invite
give
him,
him a job.
then invite him to the studio.
For all the goofy shit, Alex Jones. Yeah, that would be incredible. For all the goofy shit he's done, I've done 2 interviews with Harrison Smith over on there. I mean, I like him and then I hate him, and then
Think
I
about
like him
this,
and then
think
I
about
hate
this.
him.
Jack would be the perfect person to buy all of Alex Jones' equipment because Jack, if you run up a bunch of credit card debt, they will not be able to get it off you. There's nothing they can do about it. But then you can just let Alex Jones operate out of this studio here.
I know you guys seen Fight Club?
Sounds pretty elaborate.
The whole fight.
Really simple,
I
though.
give all these random, but the idea of the movie Fight Club, which was the book is about gay dudes, but the movie in avoiding making it, trying to have it have mass appeal, they sort of removed the whole gay angle from it, and I think they accidentally touched upon a very fundamental problem in this country, and I think it's the same problem that's caused 4 guys to be the ones who start doing this. If we succeed, 50 years from now, this studio will be filled with women talking about shit that we'd be really upset about them talking about. But we'll have built it and have no right, and then our grandkids will call us like racist homophobes or something, you know? And
or you
we'll-
can hope that society gets incredibly based.
I mean, who knows? Who knows? We kind of not the greatest time to be a dude on planet Earth.
No, it isn't.
Pretty much every fucking other time, we'd be having a blast.
Yeah, maybe if we look future is bright, there'll be
Maybe some 7-foot tall Viking would have just killed us all for being little midget faggots or something. Like he'd be like, "Nope, you die."
I'm
And
just
there would have
saying,
been like 3 men on the planet, and they were all 9 feet tall and weighed 700 pounds and looked like fucking, Jesus mixed with Brad Pitt or whatever. That's just how I assume it worked.
you lost me about halfway through.
Yeah, I lost myself and everybody else.
If possible, I'd like to get back to the just internal infighting between conservatives.
Jack, give us a
because-
final serious thought, and then it is 7:15, and the show's gonna quit automatically here in a little bit on
Okay,
Twitter.
okay.
So
So
bring us home.
disagreements are all fine and good. Like that's how you keep. That's what comes with a big tent party, obviously. But my issue is just active sabotage between infighting parties, and you see this in a way with the whole Mark Robinson situation. The people who ousted like his comments, like I don't even think I can like repeat him on here, but the people who like brought those to light were Republicans in the North Carolina party or local North Carolina party, and they waited up until the most inconvenient time to bring it up because they didn't think that it would do anything in the primary. When you are obligated as a party to do that, like to bring this up at that time, but they didn't do it. And and I don't know if it's because they were mad at they wanted it to be used against Trump or what, but if Mark Robinson is going to go down for those comments, then I think equally the people who were responsible for leaking those and just waiting all this time like should lose their jobs too.
There was a time something similar happened to Trump. Grab him by the pussy and all that shit, right? Is it? Yeah, we love shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yeah, there was also a time that happened to who was the Georgia football player, Herschel Walker, running in Georgia. Didn't work out too well for him.
I was like, unfortunately, Herschel didn't make it.
The right wing likes to consider themselves these strong individualists, and yet they're the first ones to celebrate at how good it feels when somebody else is a piece of shit. It's this weird. I don't know. I agree. Like don't let perfect be the enemy of good is maybe the idea. Yeah. It's a step forward, but it's like I can't vote for Trump because of the abortion, so instead I'll let it's like what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you got to make an adult decision. You're not a child anymore. It's not like fucking black and white. I don't know. But good point, Jack. Do you like that? I don't really know a lot about that dude. Is he?
Well, Mark, I know that one of our friends in TPUSA really liked him. We met him at the RNC. He got an autographed book from him. Not sure how much that is. Not sure how much that is worth now, but he was incredibly popular in North Carolina.
Probably
like he
more.
won single-handedly without the Trump endorsement initially. Like when he was running for governor, I believe. But again, what I have an issue with is just like what you said, John, just this sort of hypocrisy that we see from that we see within the base, and certain conservative commentators from the National Review. I'm not sure if you are familiar with this, but we had Rich Lowry, like the guy who sort of presides over National Review. He got into a controversy where he was on Megyn Kelly's show, and he just started calling.
John, what's going on outside?
What was the police? The police are here.
Yeah,
Are we getting fucking swatted on day one?
No, it's my stupid light. I had to test it during the show. I'm sorry. Sorry, Jack. Sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, like Rich Lowry, he blurts out when he's talking about the Haitian migrants or Haitian immigrants. He blurts out the N-word, the gamer word, on accident. And he gets canceled for that. He has events canceled. People call him a racist. However, you have both conservative commentators and liberal commentators coming out to defend him and say, this is obvious cancel culture. We can't allow that. And of course he shouldn't be fired. He shouldn't be subject to this. But this is Rich Lowry from the National Review. And I'm just sitting here isn't it ironic how somebody from this is facing cancellation when that's ultimately the entire justification for his position? Because in the past, he has no problem going after other conservative commentators and throwing them under the bus because they didn't toe the line. And this includes the Covington Catholic kids who he initially threw under the bus. But since his ass is on the line, now he's putting a stop to cancel culture. And the National Review writers are now trying to cancel Trump, say that Trump supporters are a bunch of idiots for backing Mark Robinson, even though none of his controversies were made aware until just a few days ago or just fairly recently. However, when you look at some of the National Review's more just controversial articles, they're praising people like Jeffrey Epstein. And while they knew that he was he was going through legal troubles as a child sex trafficker, you can find that article out there. And I just find the hypocrisy amazing. And it just frustrates me to no end.
We are, I would love to continue.
Just tell him how it is, Jack. Just tell him how it is.
I'm sorry. I got lost in there a quarter of the way in.
He's being serious. I appreciate it. We're at our time here though, and it's going to shut off automatically one way or another here in a second. So Jack Kentner, thank you for joining us remotely one final time. You will be in town on Sunday. I understand.
Yes, I
right?
will.
Do you think you'll be here in time to jump on the show with us?
I'll try, but I'll
Okay.
definitely be there for the John Doyle and Destiny debate.
On Monday, sweet. All right. Mihai, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Danny, thank you again. I know this was kind of a quick and dirty show. We just had to get it tested. This weekend, hopefully, you'll see some things on the walls behind us, a little wide-angle camera, something like that. A lot less echo in the audio if there was one, but we'll go through. Make sure everything's working good. Take those lights for a spin. Thank you, chat. It was good to see you. I will get the other monitor up so I can actually read it next time. But all things considered, it seems like it went pretty well. Not really a lot of drop frames, anything like that. So it's time, gentlemen. We're going to start setting up real shows. Are you for it?
I'm for it.
We're going to have like a plan. We're not going to just walk in here and just make shit up. And we will reveal the actual location of the studio at some point, I'm sure. But for now, we're technically not open to the public. So they believe that's December 1st. But we will do tons and tons of stuff out of here until then. We will open as soon as possible. And, of course, what am I trying to say here? No fucking idea. That is it for today. I am John Ward. And until next time, remember, you are a world champion. I didn't make an outro video. Don't let your memes be dreams, but do vote for Therese Holland and Marie Labrizzi.
Yes.
We'll have something
PA77.
up for her next episode.
We sure will. We're going to have them on their own show. Take it easy, world champions and hard M's. We will improve and be back Sunday night. See you then.